And we are now live. Goody goody. Um well, once people if some people come in, uh all right. Hello there.
Oh,
Hello. This is not, for those who know us, this is not our usual setup, but this is a new segment that we will be doing on my channel and Donovan's channel. And
yep, yep.
yeah, the title, the name of the podcast, or whatever you want to call it, is the DCEU review. Just to make it as simple as possible. Started over. Okay, man. But hey, Aaron. Um, but yes, welcome to the DCEU review, where we will review all the movies and one show from the DC extended universe. We thought it would be fun. Uh, just to come on, dude.
What is he saying? I'm not paying attention right now.
David's Superman profile picture looks like he's gonna touch someone.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Okay, but
Yeah, okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
At least we still have our podcast.
That is true. Oh. uh, he's working on it, bro. Give him a break. But we will be reviewing the DCEU stuff. And, there's some, since it's officially done and we have a new DC universe, it's all the more interesting to go back and look. And we are obviously starting with the Man of Steel himself, which is Man of Steel, Superman.
The man of steel himself, Man of Steel.
Indeed. So, well, how are you, Donovan?
I'm doing good.
Good. So this is, correct me if I'm wrong, in your top 5 comic book movies of all time.
Yeah.
What about it is something that you love? Or what are some of the things that has made it to that level for you?
For starters, mainly the actors, especially Henry Cavill and Michael Shannon and their portrayals of these characters.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but before I believe, and I could be wrong, but before I even watched the original Christopher Reeves version, this was my introduction into Superman for live action. So, I got a little bit of that there going on. And overall, I also like Man of Steel because I just feel like Henry Cavill just got snuffed in the DCEU. I do.
I think we can all agree on that. Yeah. I'm
But-
with you there. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But the acting from everybody really, and most of the fight scenes and like big choreography going on is really good, especially the CGI for 2013.
Oh yeah, very impressive. Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. This was the first Superman movie that I saw. I never really I've never watched Christopher Reeve's Superman all the way through. I've only watched like the first 5 minutes of it, and that was like the Krypton stuff. So, but I did like it as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was interesting to see, especially the real world reacting to aliens, and it's kind of giving this kind of horror thriller type of feel sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all the way, but you can definitely see elements of that.
Mm-hmm.
And we've mentioned it a couple times. This feels like Michael Bay.
This is a Michael Bay Superman film.
It is. It really is when you really compare them. It's like
it really is when you get to Metropolis.
Oh yeah, Michael Bay's Transformers and Zack Snyder's Justice League, basically the same thing. They should collide at some point. But I thought that was interesting. I liked the look of Krypton and the S. I know that might probably be a hot take, but I do like
I
that.
like the idea that they showed more off of Krypton than the original Reeves movie did.
True. Yes, Zack Snyder's Superman, my favorite horror movie. Yeah. Yeah, Brightburn does not exist. This is the Superman.
I mean, if you lived in Metropolis during the Black Zero event, you would have thought it was a horror movie too.
Really, honestly. And like, you remember like when, I know that we talk about like the zooms and stuff when they like have like it's like someone with an iPhone zooming in on something.
Mm-hmm.
But especially with like the ship or like General Zod's ship, and he's like, "You are not alone" speech.
Mm-hmm.
That feels like analog horror to me, and I think that's a nice touch.
Certain shots with the zoom in work, like the ship, Superman flying, and then there are other ones like when he's just passing what looks like Saturn as a baby, and they zoom in. It's like, do we need that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that.
It's like Zack Snyder was experimenting.
Right.
It's like he did the zoom ins first, then when that wasn't working, he started doing slow mo.
Yeah. I can't really remember the times there were a lot of slow mo in this movie, because I know that's like a joke with having like.
I don't think there ever was any slow mo in this movie.
Nah, but that is like a meme of sorts to have like Zack Snyder's version, and they all go super slow.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't hate this movie. Like as much as people hate on it, I don't. I think it's fine. Some stuff is not fine, but the parts that are cool.
Yeah, I don't hate this movie either. Like, I can understand people giving it valid criticisms, and that's one thing, but the hate for this movie is so outlandish. They hated it then, and they hate it now, and I don't understand why.
Yeah,
but heaven forbid you watch this movie, and then you watch the James Gunn movie, and then you give that valid criticisms like you did Man of Steel.
Right. Yeah, they both have some problems there.
You can love both films.
Yeah. This movie is like my love life. Has promise but poor execution.
On whose behalf? Yours or hers?
Oh. Dear. That was kind of uncomfortable. That was okay. I think it's okay.
I'm sorry, movie talk. Both. Both.
Damn. But I think it'd be best to review the movie by briefly going over everything that happens, which, by the way, this took us 3 days to watch just because we had a lot to say. But that's just what friends do. So the movie starts off on Krypton, and Lara, is giving birth to Kal-El, Clark Kent.
Give birth.
Yeah. And by the way, there's no doctors there or anything. It's just Jor-El.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Oh, wait a second. What do you mean AO?
Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're good. What does it mean AO? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
I just said she was giving birth. But she's giving birth to Kal-El. Jor-El delivers the baby, and that's that scene. And then it shows him in the council, or Jor-El is in front of the council of Krypton, I assume, and it's basically saying that, what was it? Something about the core. Harvesting the core was suicide.
Yeah, because they basically exhausted all resources everywhere else, so they exhausted their own core. And I think it was on like the brink of like annihilation because of it.
Mm-hmm.
But just like every council, they don't believe them.
Yeah. So eventually, this meeting gets interrupted by Zod and his goons. So Zod shoots one of the people, his gooners. So Zod shoots one of the council leaders, and Zod's basically like, Jor-El, just come and help me. And Jor-El's very resistant about it. And Zod basically, Zod takes him away, or one of his gooners takes him away. And then there's this whole fight scene, which, by the way, the guards here are like some of the worst fighters I've ever seen. Just because, like,
you're literally a soldier to Zod. Oh yeah. Oh, you talking about the guards, right?
The guards like that had Jor-El, that were like bringing Jor-El somewhere. I guess I don't really remember.
I thought you meant the guards that when Zod busted in, they just stood there.
Oh, well, that one too. That's a good point. In the council room, and all the guards were just standing there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're soldiers of Zod's army, but couldn't handle one scientist.
Nope. Yeah. So, yeah, but the guards, Jor-El beats them all up easily. Oh, yeah, and then, so once he defeats them, he opens up the alien computer thing that, like, hovers, and he contacts Laura, and basically what it is just, like, a head floating through the computer or whatever, and she says, Jor, behind you. How can you see what's behind him? And my what I mean by that is, how come, like, if that computer is the same is like the same way for you when you see Jor-El, like when you see each other, both computers are the same, I guess. And then how would you see behind him?
Look, simple. You just look behind them.
Okay. All right. So they're getting the pod, yeah. So they're getting the pod ready for Kal-El to shoot him out of the planet. And
here's my first major gripe with the entire movie.
Yeah.
This happened in the original Donner film, and this happened here. In fact, it happened with all Superman stories. What was stopping Jor-El and Laura from making a bigger ship so that all three of them can escape Krypton on? And if you couldn't do that, make a follow-up ship. One for your son and the other one for the both of you. They don't do that. They just make one for his son.
Yeah.
I never got that at all. And they don't explain it. There's a recurring theme in Man of Steel where they don't explain anything. Barely. And if they do, they barely do. Yeah. Unless it's something really important.
You could have explained, like, oh, well, Zod's ship shot down our other ships that we were going to get into space. But all we had was that one baby pod. So, yeah, that's an issue there. So Zod gets on his little dragon. He goes to where the Codex is being held. And what does the Codex do again? I know it's for artificial birth, right? Because
it's I think like a genetic blueprint for artificial birth for like the children of Krypton, because Kal-El was the first natural birth in like over thousands of years. So they just been like using the DNA blueprint for all of these other children on Krypton. And I believe the Codex also had like the knowledge and history of Krypton itself in it.
Mm-hmm.
So when Jor-El takes the Codex, he instills part of it into what we call the USB drive with the S symbol, or the USB.
Mm-hmm.
And he also instills a bit of it into Kal-El himself.
Right.
So it's kind of has like a double purpose essentially.
Right. So anyway, he jumps off the dragon, swims down to where the codex is being held along with the other artificial babies. He takes the codex, swims back up, and then the ship shows up. And this is something you brought up. A ship comes up and says, "Jor-El, by the authority of General Zod, surrender the codex." Jor-El looks down at the cliff, and while he's looking down, the ship just shoots at him. Jor-El doesn't even do anything yet. And he just jumps off eventually, just when they shoot at him. So he didn't even surrender or nothing, which is kind of funny. Then he jumps on the dragon. They fly back to his home, and that's when they eventually put the codex inside of Kal-El. So he'll have all the knowledge and stuff. Again, they could go with him probably, but whatever. So this is a part that I did talk about with you that so it was about when they were sending him to Earth and finding out what Earth is like. She'd say he'll be an outcast, a freak, and then
Yeah.
She says they'll kill him, and Jor-El's like, how could they? He'll be a god to them. And so this is what that's true. He got a point, but this is the part where I understand the criticisms for like Superman himself in this movie, where he seems like an actual god. And like maybe to compare like to a Greek god, maybe where in Greek mythology they're just like horrible people, and they just don't really care for human life that much.
I guess sounds like Homelander.
Yeah, I mean he's not quite like he's not like Homelander quite in this movie, but at the same time,
that would be cool. Henry Cavill played as him.
That would be cool, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, as we'll see throughout, a lot of destruction happens in this movie, and there's a lot of moments where the Superman is too brooding and he feels like he's above it all, and that's one part where Superman isn't like that. But there are some moments in this movie where Superman's actually pretty chill.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't know how you feel about it, and I know we talked about it before, but it's been a little bit.
I understand the criticism of that, and I partially give blame to that for Zack Snyder, not in a malicious sort of way. It's how they built up this Superman. I get he's a very strong, imposing figure, or sometimes could be an imposing figure. And I get he's a very all-powerful guy, but for him to be portrayed as kind of like a god figure feels kind of off.
Yeah.
It feels a little bit off. But I partially don't mind it either because here's the thing. I partially don't mind it for the sole reason that it gives people a reason to look up to Superman outside of him being a normal or like hopeful person. I'm not saying like worship the guy like a god or be religious towards Superman. I'm not saying anything like zealot like. But if that's the way they're going to want to see, if that's the way the humans in this film or in the DCEU see Superman is this godlike figure that's going to come save them one day, I can understand where they'd be coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it in that regard, but overall, no, I don't like. I like, but don't like it. Mostly don't like.
Yeah,
but I can understand if like people in the movies would get it.
Yeah. So then Zod and his Gooner show up and they blast the doors open, literally, while they're getting the ship ready to launch. And so then this might be in the same vein of like the soldiers doing nothing. So he basically he shoots. Yeah, he shoots the guards. They're really slow. That's one thing. That's one criticism is like all the fights are kind of slow when it's not Kryptonians just ramming into each other like they did in Metropolis. Some of the guards are like, for one thing, Jor-El's moving kind of slow when he shoots, and then when when he and Zod fight, it speeds up. But it's like he needs enough time to get the guards out of the way, but at the same time, it's still really slow when he does it. But some of the fight scenes are pretty cool. Not too bad. Especially Jor-El like beating the crap out of Zod. That was one thing that was really, really cool. Like he's punching him to where you can see spit come out of his mouth. And that was one thing that happened in the Batman fight or the warehouse fight scene in BVS, which we'll get
Literally,
to.
Zod, a general, like a literal general for the Kryptonian army, gets two-pieced by a scientist. Crazy.
It's insane, bro. So he has a gun to his head, and then Zod's like, Laura, don't do it. The Codex is Krypton's future. And then she just looks him dead in the eye and just does it anyway, which I think is pretty funny. And then while it's going up, Zod screams in anger, pulls out a knife. He pulls an Assassin's Creed with the knife and stabs Jor-El. And then
I just want to say something. When it comes to the stabbing scene, it is the most unrealistic depiction of a man getting stabbed with a blade ever. He just stood there, silent.
Yeah. His face was kind of funny. It's like he got pinched, which is kind of funny. So eventually the ship or the pod escapes and Jor-El, or not Jor-El, Zod and his band of people get arrested. And this is another problem that I have. So the council is punishing them for their crimes and sending them to the Phantom Zone. And by the way, Krypton's about to blow up. Why not just leave them there with you to die? Because you're giving them a chance to live, even though they're in the Phantom Zone. They're still alive. You should not have left them there. So for one thing, they wouldn't invade Earth, and I know, then we wouldn't have a movie. But still, logic-wise, you got to keep them there with you so they can die with you, and then nothing bad will happen. I mean, they're evil. They might as well. And then there's the whole, but the whole scene with Michael Shannon acted his ass off. He did such a good job, and that's even a line. You won't kill us yourself. You won't kill us yourself. You wouldn't sully your hands, but you'll damn us to a black hole for eternity. So, yeah. Let's see. Perfect change. BRB. Okay. Donovan will be right back. I do want to hear what he has to say, though, because we were both talking about this. Let's see. And basically, there's a whole I will find him. It's so good. Michael Shannon did a really good job. He's probably like the best part of the movie. Just highlight of the whole movie. And then the whole penis pod. They have little ships that they go up into that ship. The mini ships that look like penises. It's quite interesting. But yeah. Aaron, are you still there? Just curious. So they go up into the Phantom Zone. Laura's sad, and then Krypton explodes. And that's Krypton. It's basically it. That is it.
All right, I'm back. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So I briefly went over this, but I want to go back to it just because I think it's. I want to hear your thoughts on it too.
Okay.
This is when the council is arresting Zod and his goons.
All they had to do was let them stay in the building.
Yep.
Or put them in a holding cell.
Yep. Instead of giving them a chance to live in the Phantom Zone, which they do escape.
Yeah. And turn their Phantom Drive into a hyperdrive.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, where they go to other planets to I guess get resources from.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
And then they find an entire world engine, which is a terraformer of planets.
Yes. Which is very convenient for them.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks a lot, Krypton. You're really good.
Mm-hmm. But Michael Shannon does a good job acting in it.
Michael Shannon, I'm gonna be honest, at all the actors in this movie, Michael Shannon carries the entire film.
Yeah, you might be right.
He carries. Not saying everyone else was bad, but he just
Something about him.
Yeah, he just felt different in a good way.
Mm-hmm. The whole "I will find him" part.
Literally one of my favorite scenes in the entire film. And
Yeah.
then for him to be shaking with rage, that's a whole different kind of angry that a person could ever get.
Oh, yeah. It's insane. And then
it's crazy to believe, like, what he said is kind of true. When the council was going to condemn them to the Phantom Zone, I kind of agree with what he said. You won't kill us yourself, but you'll like what damn us to
a black hole for eternity, basically.
Yeah, but you won't kill them then and there. You could have done that too. I don't see why you didn't.
That's true. But no. And then they go and then they freeze them up and shoot them into the ship
into the corn pods.
Yeah, and they're shaped like little penises.
I didn't want to say it.
It don't matter. It's fine.
The little penis pods is what I call them.
Yeah. So the ship goes away into the Phantom Zone. And then back on Krypton, Laura's sad. And while she's sad, the planet explodes.
Yeah.
And
if only they'd waited a little bit longer.
Yep. And then Krypton explodes, and that's the end of Krypton.
L Krypton.
L Krypton. Massive L. And then it shows cut to Kal-El's little baby pod. He crashes onto Earth. And that's the scene. But it doesn't show the parents finding the pod.
Wait, should we talk about it now, or should we talk about it when they reveal the pod?
We should probably wait, yeah.
All right.
I think that'd be better.
I never understood that part in this film.
Right. So I don't know why they did such a big time jump there, but I mean it's fine. Mm-hmm. It cuts to how many years later? 30 years later, on a episode of World's Deadliest Catch, or just Deadliest Catch. Just a bunch of guys on a boat, and Clark's there, or Cal's there. That's Clark. is his human name. And by the way, Henry Cavill with a beard looks amazing. You should always keep the beard.
You said what? Henry Cavill, what?
Should keep the beard. He looks
Yeah.
great with the beard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They get a distress call from, I think, an oil rig, and it's on fire. So Clark swims out there or flies over there or whatever, and he goes to save the people in the burning oil rig. Gets him on a helicopter. One thing falls, and he catches it. And that was a cool part, too, where he catches it, and he's holding on, and he's, like, screaming while everyone's, like, while the helicopter's flying away. It was tough. Yeah, that was cool. And then so he's in the water after that situation. He's floating in the water, unconscious. And then it shows a flashback of when he was a kid in school. And I thought this scene was pretty cool. So they have it to where Clark's senses are going off in class, and the teacher's asking him, "Clark, what's wrong?" As Clark's like his X-ray vision's going off the rails, and the sounds. It's a lot of overstimulation for him, and I think that's it helps to see through his eyes and make it very intense, the situation that he's in. And he's like hyperventilating, and the kid that's playing Clark is doing a pretty good job. It's an interesting aspect to see of Superman as a kid. And this is something you mentioned too, Donovan, is when the teacher's like, "Clark, I've called your mother," and then he uses heat vision to burn the doorknob when she's shaking the doorknob. It's like, that's kind of sinister, dude. That's like the closest to Brightburn that we'll get is in that scene right there.
Kal-El.
What?
Kal-El. No.
Kal-El, no. But wouldn't you agree that's the closest we get to Brightburn Superman?
What?
When as a kid in class, when his X-ray vision's going off.
Yeah, that was the closest thing to Brightburn or like young Brian from The Boys will ever get in this movie.
Yes. And then there's Martha, which, by the way, I like this version of Martha Kent.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you will about Man of Steel, but I think, or say what you will about the parents, but they got to where, like, they're good parents, kind of, but not. They love
Martha's the good parent.
Yes, I should have specified.
Martha's the good parent. Yeah.
Yeah, she is a good parent. And then that's another visual that you mentioned was cool too. When Clark wakes up in the ocean and there's a baby whale and a mama whale.
Yeah, I like that one.
That was cool.
That was sweet.
Yeah. So Clark gets out of the ocean. He steals some clothes from someone's house when they're not looking.
We had a whole joke about this too. Like, imagine you see this 6'1" shredded man with like short hair and a beard, and he only was wearing is just tattered pants, and he knocks on your door and says, "Hey, can I borrow some clothes?" And it's Henry Cavill. If you're in a relationship and your man or woman sees this, what's the first thing you do? Like, the both of you walk up to the door and you see this, the first thing do y'all react with?
Either you're both attracted to him or you're jealous.
No, either they're both attracted to him, or my wife's gonna have some explaining to do.
Who's this?
Honey, I have no idea who this is. They ask you for clothes. Why? What make matters worse is that he showed up after coming out from the back of the house.
That is true. That is true.
That doesn't help.
Nope. But he's walking around town with like his clothes now, so that's good. Cut to flashback of him on the bus as a tween. And then there's this whole scene with so Pete Ross is the name of the kid that's bullying him, and hey, ass wipe, and he's just messing with him. And then there's a part where he calls him Dick Splash, and right when he says Dick Splash,
you thought that he caused the bus crash.
Well, I mean, at first I did as a kid, but then it's just so what happens, like he calls him Dick Splash, and then the tire on the bus pops and he swerves off the bridge and they fall, like crash and fall off the bridge into the
which
into
is
the water.
weird to me because that thing just spontaneously combusts like something from Final Destination.
Yeah, it did.
I get the movie needed a scene to happen, but like that was dumb.
Yeah. So they're in the bus, they're freaking out. So and then Clark gets out of the bus to help save the kids. Pushes them out of the water. And then there's a part where he saves the bully, gets him out of the water. Which then, it shows that they have quite a friendship or some sort of friendship later on. But
oh no.
This is the part. So the bully, Pete, and his mom are at the Ken's house with and then John and Martha are consoling her and she's freaking out. Clark's outside, he's upset about it. So Jonathan goes outside to talk to him. And this is quite a terrible moment.
And this is why Martha Kent was the best one in this entire film.
Yes.
When it goes to the parents.
Indeed. So Clark's like, I just want to help. And then Jonathan says, I know you did.
No. Oh, yeah.
I know you did, but we talked about this. You have to keep this a secret. And Clark
what was I supposed to do? Let them die? This mother Canucker really turns to Clark and says, maybe. I'm not kidding. Go watch the movie. He says maybe to a kid who asks a question like this.
Bro's like, he's like 13 or 12 or something. And he's
if you wanted an indefinite answer, you could have at least said, I don't know. That would have been better than straight up saying maybe, like, okay, so I was supposed to kill him.
Yeah.
You don't tell him. He kills him for real, then what you gonna do?
Yeah. Just wait for the right moment.
Just have your one bad day moment. You go from Superman to Homelander real quick.
Oh, man. It's the plane scene in season 1 all over again.
Henry Cavill starts dyeing his hair blonde throughout the course of the film.
You boys okay? Oh, my gosh.
I'm sorry. I just really want to see Anthony Starr and Henry Cavill swap roles now.
I do, too. You stay the frick back or I'll laser you. I'll laser every freaking one of you.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this line here. After he says maybe, I'm going to say it word for word so you can get how messed up this is.
I believe, before you say it, didn't Clark look at him when he said that? Like, are you serious?
A little bit, yeah.
He looked at him like, what? Dad, you can't be
It's so bad. He says, after that, there's more at stake here than just our lives, Clark, or the lives of those around us. Like,
no,
what?
What is it then? Darkseid, who never shows up, but only in the Snyder Cut. Doomsday, who's not even here yet. Steppenwolf, who's really not even here yet. Like, what is this? Batman? Like, what's the stake here?
True. Well,
what are you talking about?
Before Batman, we had Wonder Woman in the 40s.
I don't want to talk. technically in 1910s because it was World War One when she showed up.
Oh, it was one? Okay.
Uh,
Okay, my bad.
I don't want. I don't want to say nothing about Wonder Woman just yet until we get to like the because I know there's a scene here where like I think it was Perry from the Daily Planet was like the world's not ready or like something like that. Like they keep a lot of people talk about how the world's not ready for Superman or like a being like him, you know.
Yeah.
And I get this movie was originally supposed to be like a one-off film. There was no DCEU involved. But what irks me about it, and I guess I'll talk about it now, is the fact that they had heroes this entire time before Superman showed up, and then before, during, and after he showed up, there were superheroes. Why didn't they do anything? Why didn't they show up? Especially if, like, since BVS had to shoehorn the entire league into the movie.
Yeah.
So they existed at one point, like Wonder Woman. I don't understand why we have to.
Yeah. And like
That's more of a BVS problem than a Man of Steel problem, though.
yeah. And if you want to say the argument was like, oh, it's a solo movie, then stop making the solo movies world threatening. Like that's if you have an established universe and no other superhero, this is a problem with all cinematic universes. But
okay.
It's
okay.
Kind of. I mean, the MCU does it better. But yeah, I don't know.
They haven't handled their multiverse better, that's for dang sure.
Yeah. I'm mainly referring to phases 1, 2, and 3 when talking about that.
Yeah.
But anyway. So yeah, John's like, if they find out what you can do, it'll change everything. What it means to be human. You saw Pete's mom, she was scared. People are afraid of what they don't understand.
They're not.
And it's like, dude, that doesn't matter. That does not matter. If people are dying all around you, you gotta get over yourself.
He really said to this kid, there's more hurt. Say the line again.
Let me see. When the world finds out what you can do, it's going to change everything. Our beliefs, our notions, what it means to be human, everything.
So, for one, that goes back to the God complex thing where we talked about earlier. Because that's basically what he's saying is, and at least in my interpretation, that's what it sounds like he's saying. Our beliefs, our notions, they're going to see you not as this hero. They're going to see you as something else. Something possibly scary. And in a way, he was partially correct. Especially in in BVS. The whole, like 2 scenes in particular where it's like he saves that one person in like the Day of the Dead celebration. Everybody's like holding their arms out to him.
Mm-hmm.
And of course the courtroom scene. So in a way, Jonathan Kent was partially right, but at the same time, what it means to be human, knowing there are literal human superheroes out here in the world, whether they're in hiding or they're retired, wink wink. But then you also have like the notion of like Wonder Woman, who was there, who literally fought with the Allies in World War One. Heck, she got out the trenches, start blocking bullets with her bracelets, and then that made everybody else want to go up there with her.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What makes Superman so different from everyone else that showed up? Because he's more powerful than they are? Like, this goes into the argument of them not really explaining much. Because they don't explain what do you mean by this.
Mm-hmm. They don't.
Like, if you're going to say it, at least give off some, like, good reasoning for it. Okay, this is going to be a strange metaphor, but it's kind of like, it's like if you're cooking and you're prepping the food and you don't put seasoning on it. What's the point of you making the food with no seasoning, but you expect it to taste good?
Northerners.
What do you mean by that? Because people in Baltimore, can really cook, okay?
I don't know exactly where, but I know some don't really season their food that much. I
know some people down south that don't season food well.
Fair enough.
But you see what I mean, though, right?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Like, it's so half baked. I don't like that.
Exactly. So then he tells Clark where he's actually from.
And this is the problem I talked about earlier, where I should we wait or not? Here's the thing that Man of Steel failed to do, and they could have easily done so. How in the world do you have that big, gigantic pod just in the bottom of your barn? Now, when you watch the movie, that the thing just crash lands in the middle of a field.
Yep.
There was no one there. It looked like it was like slowly turning into dawn, like really early in the morning or somewhere at night. It flew past their house, what I'm assuming is their barn, just flew past them. And it crash landed, and yet somehow no one ever heard or saw anything.
Right.
Yet the kids, I'm assuming, find it. How in the world do they just lug a giant like space pod to their to their barn?
Mm-hmm.
What they could have done, if you really wanted to do that, was crash it into the barn.
Yeah.
Could have done that. There's no way they just like two old people just stealthily snuck a spaceship into their own house.
Yeah, no way. It help me, Martha. Give it a hefty push.
They did something like this in the Donner movie too, where they just left the ship, but they kept the kid, but they left the ship. And before you say, "Oh well, Superman probably lifted the ship up," he did that in the Donner movies, where he kind of lifted up their truck. Mind you, this is Man of Steel. That kid was still an infant. How would he have done that?
Exactly.
How do you just have like this big thing in your house, like next to your house, intact?
I don't know. But yeah, that's a big problem there. And this is another problem here. So when Jonathan reveals the ship, he says, "We were sure the government was going to show up on our doorstep, but no one ever came." How did no one come?
That's what I'm saying. How did no one, not just the government, but anyone in Kansas, for that matter, when they hear a giant thud, I'm assuming it made a crashing sound. How did no one come to the ship?
Exactly.
Nobody showed up.
This is one of those moments where it's like, it just happens. Don't question it.
Yeah.
That's one of those.
It's one of those things where it's like, don't question it, just accept it. I refuse to accept this one.
Yeah. So he shows Clark the USB. So basically he tells him he's an alien. He doesn't want to be an alien, or he doesn't want to be an outcast.
You will always be an outcast, bro. You're the main character.
Yeah, man. Let's see. You're not just Jonathan says, "You're not just anyone, Clark, and I have to believe that you were sent here for a reason." After that, he says, "All these changes that you're going through, one day you're going to think of them as a blessing, and when that day comes, you'll have to make a choice. The choice of whether to stand proud in front of the human race or not." But like,
but you just said that if you show up, everything will change, including what it means to be human, our beliefs, and our notions. Make up your mind, old man, or take your freaking medicine.
Exactly. So like when it's like stand proud in front of the human race, he did that when trying to save the bus. He made a sacrifice to show himself.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, maybe they should die.
Maybe they should. And then he said that about kids too. It wasn't teenagers.
No.
He's like, should I just let them die? Maybe. So you're saying you're telling your son kill kids. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what make it even worse. Now that I think about it.
It's so evil. What the heck,
so
dude?
Evil,
it is. It's so like rise to the occasion now.
Your son goes on the Brightburn heel turn. You can't say none to him, old man. You brought this on yourself.
Nah. So we cut to the bar scene. This is where I don't know if Clark just got this job as a bartender, or he had it. He didn't have it before. I don't know how long they skip, but he eventually he's just in the bar and he works there, I guess.
And Nova Scotia, Canada. Which for
Yeah.
this whole time I just thought he was up in like Minnesota or like Maine or somewhere. I didn't know he was in Canada till I paid him much attention.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in this same bar, James Gunn stole a scene for his film.
Oh, we'll get there.
He stole a scene.
We'll get there. So Clark sees these two guys, or some of these guys, harassing this one girl, and he tells them to leave her alone. One guy gets out of his chair and says, "Or what?" And then he's like, "Or I'm going to have to ask you to leave." And he say, "I'll leave when I want to leave," and pours his drink on Clark's head and humiliates him in front of everybody. And then he tries to shove Clark.
Which was funny.
I did like this part. So he shoves Clark and he does nothing to him. He just stands there and he just pushes back. And
he gets pushed back by himself.
Exactly. I love that. And this is the part you were talking about when he's like, hey, butthole, don't forget your tip. And he throws a can at on the back
back of his head.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar, Superman fans. Now I get that question to you. Who did it better?
That was the thing we talked about. Just the shot by itself, I would say James Gunn's, but the whole scene with that shot with the scene, I would say Zack Snyder, because I mean, we could, I don't know who else would agree, but we don't like the fact, like, this is the same scene right before when they reveal that Superman's Kryptonian parents are actually evil.
I believe there's another scene that James Gunn took from this film. I can't remember what it is, though.
Did he fix it or what?
I don't remember. I said something when we were watching it. James Gunn took another one, not just the beer can thing. I can't remember what it is. I know it was this and the "What's Up Danger" scene, which happens far later in the movie. By the way, Superman fans or Spider-Man fans, "What's Up Danger" was not Miles' thing. It was Superman's.
Yeah.
Go watch the movie if you don't believe me.
Chew on that.
Yeah.
How you like them apples?
For a movie that nobody likes, they really like to take stuff from it.
Yeah. The punch.
Injustice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right after this, after Clark gets humiliated, he
does the most pettiest thing ever in this entire film.
Yes.
And when you watch it, it is funny. But at the other times, it's like, there's no way he got away with this. There's no way he got away with that.
No.
So the truck driver who like tried to humiliate him, I think he walks out of the bar, walks out of the motel, and it's at nighttime. He looks at his truck, and his truck is literally strung up by tree logs.
Yeah.
And a mangled heap. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no way he didn't hear this.
Exactly.
There's no way no one else didn't hear this. And there's no way nobody saw this.
Yeah.
How did you pull this off?
The best thing you could have done was, like, when no one was around in the parking lot and when they couldn't see outside, which they definitely might have seen outside, you could have just thrown it in the woods. And it's like, where the heck is my truck at?
And then you see it like behind you or whatever, or like some area, it's just wooded area. And it's just the truck.
Yeah, you could just do that. And the guy was oddly calm about it too.
Extremely calm. He's just like, huh? Oh my gosh, what happened? Man, not to mention he a truck driver too. If that's your livelihood, I'm crashing out right there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm crashing out.
Yeah.
Like, you don't just be calm about nothing like that.
No.
And in a way, I know that was Superman's get back, but that could also be interpreted as Superman wanting to kill the guy. That could be considered a warning.
Basically. If I wanted it,
You be dead already.
You be
If
dead
I wanted
already.
it, you be dead already.
You don't understand. There's no time. I understand.
I understand. Gets shoved with one hand.
We're jumping too quickly. My bad. But yeah. Were you gonna say something else, or did I cut you off?
Inaccurate depiction of a man's truck getting impaled. First hand experience.
Yeah.
I remember watching Man of Steel in the theater. It was good. Nice. Also,
Nice.
hi, Devon.
Hey, Devon. Good to see you. And then we could again. Superman has another job. He's working. I think it's Canada still.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is Canada.
Yeah.
Now he works for the government.
I guess. So like Lois Lane is there, shows up in a helicopter. This is where the first introduction of Lois Lane. And then there's the government people, and I forgot exactly what she's doing there. But
I think doing a story on the ship they found.
I think so.
Yeah, they really treat her scummy in this entire movie, the military.
Yeah.
Especially in this particular instance. Oh yeah, by the way, Clark Kent, he's a bag boy now. He carries bags.
Yeah, they're heavy.
Yeah. No.
Be careful with those. They're heavy.
So, Lois Lane, I was about to say what's her face. So Lois Lane, they bring her to like this part. I can't remember. I'm gonna be honest, it looked more like a storage area. They bring her to a storage area with like a cot and like a radio. And she's like, how am I supposed to use the bathroom? There's a bucket in the corner. That's literally a line the dude says. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
By the way, that guy is Christopher Maloney, who's on Law and Order. So he's cool character though. I do like his character. And that actor.
I'm just thinking, bro, that's kind of scuffed, bro.
It is. It is.
That's scuffed. Meanwhile, you military guys get coziness and get to be real cozy.
Yeah.
You got a cot. and like surrounded by a bunch of boxes and filing cabinets. And then you say there's a bucket in the corner. That's outlandish.
How do you not have a bathroom? But
not even a single porta potty. You don't even got that, bro.
No.
Like
porta potties are bad enough.
They're bad enough, but I would have taken that over a bucket in the middle of the Arctic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so they're here for a Kryptonian ship that they found in Canada. And then
it's
for some
Canada or the Arctic.
Yeah.
But then again, I can never tell which one is which.
It's just snow, mountain snow, ice thing.
Yeah.
So Lois, for some reason, gets out her photography stuff, which is very satisfying to watch because cameras are nice. And there's yeah. I mean, I'm not that savvy into it, but I like cameras. But so she goes out trying to take some pictures. She thought it'd be a smart idea to do that. And she sees Clark. He's walking over there. So she's going to follow him.
And the most unrealistic camera zoom in ever in the middle of the night at that.
Exactly. Your ISO's got to be super bright. But then again, it still won't help you out.
You can have good settings, good ISO, and a good lens, good whatever. If you're like taking a picture of something in the dead of night, all you're getting is black pixels.
Yeah.
So there's no way in the world you would be able to find Clark.
No. And I don't know if that brand was a Nikon, so I don't know if the brand of camera helps.
Go figure, it was a Nikon, so it's really Nikon.
I mean, isn't it just the lens that you have to worry about?
I don't know. I haven't been in photography in like 2 years, David.
Okay, fair enough.
We have not taken that class in God knows how long.
I mean, I'm going back to that stuff anyway, so it is, lenses do help. It's been 2 damn years.
It's been 2 years. I have not set foot in a photography class in 2 years. I don't
with an
remember.
okay teacher.
With an
Just-
okay teacher.
she's retired now. She doesn't watch this. But yeah, she follows Clark. He goes into the ship. He finds the ship. It's cold. He has his USB as well, and finds a little console where it seems like the USB would fit. And he rips off the necklace, which he doesn't just take
accurately
off
fits at that.
It does, yeah. He doesn't put it in all the way, and there's a little robot with tentacles trying to kill him. So then he pushes the USB in all the way, and then the alien stops. And this is also like where Jor-El's consciousness is in. So,
and this is where Jarvis Jor-El shows up.
Jarvis Jor-El.
I still think there's like there have been times where I just literally forget that this is supposed to be an AI of him.
True.
Also, and speaking of that, you brought this up. Why is there no Laura AI? It's just Jor-El. Why not the mom and dad?
That's what I would like to see. If there was a Superman, if I had to do a Superman reboot, I would have both of them there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, probably not like Man of Steel exactly, but or at least a hologram of them both. Oh yeah, and then Lois meets the tentacle robot, shoots a picture of it with the flash on, and then the robot attacks her and gives her a flesh wound. Tis but a flesh wound. Clark hears this, takes out the alien,
which he should have done.
Yeah. And then he's about to help Lois,
and proceeds to laser the wound.
Yes.
As if that's not going to give her 3rd or 4th degree burns as a result.
Well, he doesn't shoot them, but he does heat them up.
He cauterizes the wound with them.
Yeah. I love the part right before that when she's struggling to get away from him, but he's kind of looking at her like, "Bro, are you serious? Just let me help you." And he's like, looking like
literally in this movie, Henry Cavill is just like, "Come on, bro."
Yeah, but I love like he gives her a certain look, and like she's just like thinking like she looks into his eyes. She's like, "Okay, fine, it's fine with me."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he cauterizes the wound, and then the ship that he's in, he drops Lois off in just the cold. So
yeah, just leaves her on like a piece of an iceberg or so.
Yeah,
like
and then they have to find her, and then the ship flies away. And
imagine if a polar bear showed up at that point.
Yeah,
because there was a polar bear that actually shows up in the scene before they show Lois just jumping over just from platform to platform.
Mm-hmm. So then Lois decides to write a piece on it about her savior, and Perry White's like, "Nah, we're not gonna print this.
No, we're not gonna post this Superman threat or menace."
Yeah, and I love the exposition here. She's like, "It's me we're talking about, Perry. I'm a Pulitzer Prize winning reporter. Thanks for telling us."
Yeah. And I think Perry says something along the lines of like, "Then act like it."
Yeah.
I think he says something like that too. Lawrence Fishburne was very underrated in these films.
I do like Lawrence Fishburne a lot. He's good in this. Yeah, and he's like, "Well, no, we're not posting a story about aliens." Meanwhile, Wonder Woman in the 1910s.
Yeah.
But anyway,
wait till we get metahumans like Aquaman and the Flash and Cyborg into the mix. Heck,
Yeah.
I'll do you one better. Wait till we see the man in Batsuit come out of retirement.
Oh yeah.
And the movie that comes after this. I'm sorry, I want to watch BVS, but I'm starting to hate it now.
Extended or the Ultimate Edition.
Ultimate Edition is what I'm watching, but
Yeah.
I'm finding more BVS problems in Man of Steel than I am probably going to find in BVS.
Mm.
I don't know why.
Yeah. So then Lois resorts to talking to this one guy. I guess he's kind of sleazy. To
Woodburn is what they call him.
Woodburn to publish her story on to wherever his site is, I guess. So there's that whole scene. And then we have the polar bear and zooms in or pans to the ship or the alien ship. And this is where Clark. Sorry, go ahead. What?
I feel like this alien ship, because I was dead wrong about it. I feel like this alien ship in this universe acts as like the Fortress of Solitude.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Because he doesn't have one in the DCEU.
No.
But this kind of acts like it, especially given the fact that it was found in the Arctic. And everywhere he goes is in a snowy area. Plus, it's where he gets his suit and learns everything about Krypton.
That's true.
This ship acts as a Fortress of Solitude.
It's kind of a lame Fortress of Solitude, not gonna lie.
Yeah, very lame because it gets destroyed.
True. How did the ship get here? I forgot.
How? Oh, dang it! Nah, I did forget. I didn't even think. I think the ship was here for like thousands of years.
What?
Remember, I think it was Jor-El who said it. Somebody on the ship said that it's been there for like 10,000 years. And like when Clark was exploring it, he actually saw like pods and it had like dead bodies inside of it. So it was led to believe that like they were here first. Ship crashed in the Arctic and they just died.
And it wasn't found by anyone?
Apparently so, because it was underneath the ice until now.
Okay.
It was literally the NBE-1 of Man of Steel. NBE-1. That's what we call it.
So,
I'm still convinced if they'd have found Megatron in this, they'd have probably found Megatron in this universe, but they would have not found the ship.
No. So Clark meets the AI Jor-El, and he's like, "To see you now as an adult, if only Laura could see you."
Yeah, if only you made an AI for her beforehand.
Exactly.
Maybe she could have saw him.
Exactly. But then
Dad said, "Nah, we ain't having a mother-son relationship. We can't be just boys only."
The He-Man Woman Haters Club.
Bros before hoes type shit.
About your mom?
Yeah, apparently so.
Okay. And he's surprisingly very chill about it too. He's like, "So you're my dad?" "Yeah." "And my name is not Clark?" "No, it's Kal-El."
Yeah.
"I have a lot of questions." "Okay." That's it.
Like that's literally their interaction the entire film.
It's here to there and no depth. It's just kind of like.
Meanwhile, the Donner movie, Christopher Reeves had so many questions that was answered by a giant floating head, and yet he was still wanting to know more.
Yeah.
This was just like, "So you're my dad?" "Yeah." "My name's Kal-El?" "Yeah." "Okay, cool." "Yeah."
Tell me about this.
Yeah.
So then he tells the origin of Krypton and its expansion to other planets.
Yeah.
To reshape environments to our needs. I don't know why they need to do that, but they just need to. Civilization flourished. What happened?
I like how they show it though.
Oh yeah, it's visually
like the seed like hologram or whatever they're using. That looked pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. It's very beautiful. Lots of great CGI in here and cinematography. Shaky cam can get annoying, but
I don't even see it until Superman starts flying.
Yeah. I'll try to point it out in the next movie. There's a lot of it. And then they mention artificial birth being established. The outposts were abandoned on the other planets. The natural resources are exhausted. The core became unstable for their planet. And then Zod rises up. attempted a coup or a coup. I don't know how you say that. So yeah, they're divided because of the resources and stuff. I wish Jor-El and Zod were established better as friends, like what they did with the prequels. Like if you had the prequel series for Superman's for Krypton, that would actually be cool because Superman's basically Luke Skywalker in a way. Are you still there? Or do
I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Let's see. Genesis Chamber. So he shows them the Genesis Chamber with all the artificial babies in there, and
This was a missed opportunity.
It was. Yeah, explain why. You mentioned certain
because
parts.
I thought this would be a cool. So the Genesis Chamber had like a chamber full of children, like babies, incubated in these little pods, kind of like how they were in the Codex scene on Krypton.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they were alive or not, I assume they were still alive. I assume they were.
Yeah.
But to say they were alive, this could have been a very interesting what-if scenario where Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl, or Superboy, or both of them, could have been in these pods. I thought that could have been a decent what if, especially since Supergirl exists in the DCEU in the Flash movie. She could have been here. Plus, when the ship crashes into Metropolis, all the kids are just dead. You telling me Zod couldn't have like taken out any of the children to see, number one, if they were even alive, or two, to see if like he could save them in some sort of way when he got to the ship? They didn't do that. No. You could have done something with these instead of just literally killing off babies.
Exactly. They
don't even run like a simple diagnostic to see if the kids are dead or not. They just leave them there.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it could have been a really interesting dynamic where it's like, oh, you want to save Krypton? Okay, well, here are these kids. See if they are alive.
Yeah. And this kind of the line where Jor-El's explaining, like, we wanted to have a natural birth because what if a child wanted to actually make something of himself and not just be told what to do? And it's like, well, these kids don't have to do that. They don't have to be.
They're on Earth now. You might as well make them like your own people.
Yeah. Good. True. Oh, and then he asked, why didn't you come with me? And then Jor-El says, we couldn't, Cal. We wanted to, but we didn't want to.
Why?
No, we didn't. How much we wanted to, we can't. We couldn't. Your mother Laura and I were a product of the failures of our world as much as Zod was tied to its fate. I mean,
my brother in Christ, you could have showed up with him.
Yeah.
You literally could have just gave him a backhanded excuse where it's like, we tried to make a ship, but every time we did, the council forbade us to do so, or Zod destroyed it.
Yep.
Or like, we did have a ship, but in the battle for Krypton, Zod did destroy when he invaded our home.
Mm-hmm.
We only had enough time for you.
Yeah. And this is the part where his suit gets revealed. And this is something that was kind of an interesting topic of discussion where it's like, they wore this? Like, this is how, like, this is what they wore?
It's not even what they wore. It's like, why do you have this? Like,
right.
It's I understand, like, the all black, maybe like the muted rustic colors of Krypton. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you just have a red and blue suit with your family crest and a red cape?
Yeah.
Why do you have this? Was this like the fashion on Krypton? Like, they don't tell us what that suit even represents either, or like why they have it. The other Kryptonian suits they have, I get. What about this one? This feels off. If anything, the black suit from Snyder Cut feels more aligned with what Krypton would have had. I don't get this one.
No. And like that's why I love the fact that in the comics, Martha Kent made his suit. I think that's just so good. But this is just like, okay, all right. I mean, it's cool, but come on, it's a cool suit. But I like Martha's suit. I like what Jor-El.
I'm nominated for me. Flies off.
Yeah, I love that. But I also like what Jor-El says, like about humanity being different from us Kryptonians. They won't necessarily make the same mistakes we did, and that's kind of like you can help them not make the same mistakes we did. You could be a beacon of hope. Hope. But yeah, and that's way better than start a harem, take as many wives as you can,
rule as many fatties on Earth as you can, and conquest Earth. Mark,
get all the BBLs you can find. And like, I guess this is kind of symbolism.
Make Compound V great again. I'm sorry.
We can make Compound V great again. And I get like they're trying to do symbolism to Jesus, but I don't really want them to do all that for Superman.
It kind of makes me wonder if, especially, and I know it's more of a BVS question, but that kind of makes you wonder if Superman's the symbolism for Jesus in this movie. Doesn't that mean Batman is the symbol of the devil?
I never thought about that.
Because the way how he acts in BVS could be summed up to something like that.
Maybe. I always thought like the line, if man won't kill God, then the devil will do it, referring to Doomsday.
Batman. That too.
But yeah, Batman.
I mean, it could be really meant for both.
Honestly, yeah. It could. That
man was just on demon time in that entire film.
He sounds like a demon in that movie.
He fights like a demon in that
movie. He does. It's so brutal.
It's like literally the best thing. It's like the closest thing we'll get to Arkham video game combat in live action.
Yeah. Aside from Dark Knight, where it's like
Batman in the Dark Knight, a hot take, he can't fight.
I think that's a reasonable take.
That man can't fight.
No.
He can't fight.
Why are they hating on our beloved representation?
I don't care. He can't fight.
Yeah, I know. People are like, why are they hating on such good representations of the comic book characters?
No, it was not.
I don't care. We don't care.
No. No. Shut up about the Dark Knight trilogy before I really give you a hot take.
Yeah, same here. So we transition to Superman. He's here. First flight. This is one of the best scenes in the movie.
Literally. And I know I sounded corny the other night. And I'll sound corny again, too. When I saw this scene in 2013, I really believed a man could fly. I did. It just, no matter how many times I see this scene, I can never not get like a bit of like childhood joyfulness out of it and a sense of sadness out of it, because it's like we really could have had something special with this man, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other hand, it's just like, man.
Yeah. Come on.
I literally told David, hey, can you just replay this scene again?
I was like, we can't. It's taking us so long to watch this.
I want to replay this freaking flight scene. And the music was so peak with it, too.
Hans Zimmer is a goat.
And the speech that Jor-El was saying, I liked it. I really did.
Yeah. I like when Superman's like flying for a little bit and he's like laughing and then he's like, no. And he's just like,
oh yeah, this was the scene I told you about that James Gunn stole. Superman crashing into the ice.
Oh my gosh. James Gunn, you scoundrel.
This one was more or less a joke, but James Gunn took the fact that Superman crashed in the freaking snow.
Yeah. But I love when this one is just he crashes into the mountain and he's getting up dramatically.
Superman and James Gunn crashed into snow, couldn't move. Superman in this movie crashes into a mountain, gets up like nothing happened.
David Cornsweet could never Hashtag.
And then, oh, he really could never when the world engine starts. But like, he really could never on that one.
No.
But like, everybody says this Superman's the weakest. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know. In live action, I don't know about that. Because unlike David Corensway, he doesn't get his like you know what beat countless times in this movie.
Yeah.
At least he's holding his own against a war general.
Yeah. And then we get Superman putting his fist on the ground rumbles, and he shoots off into space or in the sky. And he's
It's
getting
a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Superman.
It's Superman. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I like how he's actually smiling too throughout the entire flight. Like he is enjoying what he's
Yeah.
doing.
And you can also hear like the old sound effects of flying back in like the old times where it was like I thought that was cool. Nice touch. I don't think it fits really well, but it's a nice touch anyway.
Also, I don't know how fast he went, but this man literally, here's the thing with his Superman that always happens. He breaks the sound barrier no matter what.
That is true.
Anytime. He always breaks the sound barrier. Not just in this film, but in the DCEU.
Yeah.
But he breaks it a lot in this film. He broke it when he was flying over the water. And I think that's when he first did it. He started flying in what looked like Africa. I don't even know how he got there.
He flew.
He just kept. No, I mean, like in terms of speed, I don't even know how he got there.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
He was just really going at it, like flying through Africa, canyons and everything. But of course, my favorite part of the entire flight scene was when he's flying in the sky and he just like quickly looks down, and all you could see is just look like it's him standing in the sky before zipping into space. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah. I just
Never before, never again, man.
No. I love when he was in space though. That was a cool
Yeah. It felt like a small little nod to Christopher Reeves when he flew into space.
Oh yeah,
the end of the Donner movie.
Mm-hmm. That was cool.
And then you didn't, and then you had to ruin it because you wouldn't let us replay
it. We had to get it done, bro.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Me too. While we're taking a little break, why don't you consider subscribing to the channel? Check out our podcast, The Marvel Movie Half Hour, and we'll talk about all the Marvel movies and like this video too. Okay. BRB. I'm back. Hang on. I'm back. I didn't know you could do this. Show comments on stage. Is this like an advanced thing you have to do or pay for? Probably. Hey, we got a viewer. How you doing, viewer? We're talking about Man of Steel. If you didn't read the thumbnail, but my co-host will return in a bit. For right now, we're going to talk about everything together. So we'll wait a second here. Oh, this has been playing for a while. Okay. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud about what we're going to talk about in a second because that's going to be good. I forgot to put a description in the. I'll do it later. Excuse me. But yes, we'll be doing some DCEU reviews. After this will be Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. We're going to do the Ultimate Edition because people say that that's the good one. And super long. Not super long, but it's long enough. So that'll give us some things to talk about there. Then we got Suicide Squad after that. Not the Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad. Just Suicide Squad. People have to say Suicide Squad 2016. But I've never seen Suicide Squad though, so that'll be interesting. I did see Wonder Woman. That was not bad, but I haven't seen it in a while, so I have to think on that one again. Oh, and then we get Justice League after that, or Justice League, which is like one of my least favorite movies. One of my least favorite comic book movies. So the first 5 are interesting. Then we get Aquaman, which I did not like. I don't care if it made $1 billion. I didn't like it. Then we get Shazam, which was not bad. Birds of Prey I haven't seen. Wonder Woman 84 I haven't seen. And those I've heard were pretty bad as well. And then we get Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I did like. The Suicide Squad, or Suicide Squad 2021 by James Gunn, which I've heard that's pretty good, or I've heard was very good. Then Peacemaker Season 1, I should clarify. There is a Season 2, but apparently that's in the new DC universe, so we'll just be watching Season 1 for right now. What's after that? Oh, Black Adam. Ugh. Boy. Oh, boy. And then we get Shazam Fury of the Gods, The Flash, Blue Beetle, and then Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So that'll be interesting. So I've heard Aquaman 2 was actually really bad. So I think we should end on a high note to, I guess, to spoil what we're going to do. I'd say probably a ranking, not exactly a tier list. I think a ranking would be a lot more fun because I've never done like a legit just ranking before. I've done tier list a bunch of times. Let's change it up a little bit. That'll be the final episode, if you want to call it that, so we can end on a nice little note there. Because rankings are fun. I do want to know if you have seen any of these movies. What's your favorite? What's your favorite DCEU movie? I'm gonna get some interesting comments there. I hope. Be really cool to find out. Sorry, I'm just kind of. What do you call that theme? It was in Joker. What was the like? We'll be right back. Screen or something. I don't remember exactly what you call that. This is not very professional, I know. I know. We'll timestamp it. Is it technical difficulties? That's probably what it is. Yeah, that's right. Back to school ad. That's great. Oh, was that AI? Oh boy. AI is just taking over commercials and it's sickening. I hate it. It sucks. It's disgusting. I hate it so much. I don't know. I'll be right back, folks.
I am back.
Hey, perfect.
So what did I miss so far?
Nothing. I was just kind of killing time. So after the first flight scene, Lois Lane goes around to his previous jobs. For some reason, she finds all of his previous jobs and is like finding out who he is. So she finds Pete Ross eventually, the kid who called him a dick splash and popped the bus tires because that was his fault. But after that, he goes to Martha Kent's house.
Why did you say that name?
It's his mother's name. But she's like, I want to talk about your son. And then it shows her at the graveyard where Jonathan Kent is at. Good riddance, and we'll explain why. We'll
We
explain.
haven't even got to the scene yet, and I don't want to talk about it.
So she's like, so Clark shows up and he's just standing there in a cap and
Just standing there like he's been waiting for her to show up.
yeah.
Ted Bundy.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, he's just standing there menacingly.
Yeah.
Like he just wants to take her into a car and drive somewhere secluded where he could dump the body off later. It's just
You know, that was a thing. Like Ted Bundy was supposedly like a handsome guy, too.
yeah.
So
And when he went to court, a whole lot of women were there to support him.
oh yeah, they wrote him letters and he doesn't care.
They supported him a lot for no reason.
That's insane. That's like if Harry Styles was a murderer.
Imagine
That-
Henry Cavill actually did murk somebody. All you're gonna see is just his fanboys and fangirls, primarily fangirls, be like, "We support you, Cavill." Yeah. He did it intentionally, though.
You'll see me there, probably. I don't know.
Me and you at the protest, just like with Superman. Superman. Free our boy Superman. Oh no, you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna be like, free our boy Superman, but the moment he steps foot in the courtroom, we're gonna be like, yeah, there's an explosion gonna happen.
Yeah, he's gonna stand there at Aura Farm.
He's just gonna stand there at Aura Farm as an explosion rings out of the courtroom.
Anyway, she's like, where are you from? Let me tell your story. And he's like, what if I don't want my story told?
Then why do you keep saving people?
Yeah. Ooh.
She says because she said that too. The only way this is going to stop is if you stop saving people or something like that.
Yeah.
So like, if you don't want your story told, why do you keep saving lives?
Exactly.
Why do you keep going from place to place, job to job?
Right.
But you don't want your story told. Like.
So then he eventually does tell her.
I blame Jonathan Kent for the decision-making process for Clark.
Yeah. My dad said that what was it? My father believed that if the world found out who I really was, they reject me out of fear.
I can understand. Okay, since the Black Zero event happened and in BBS, I can understand what he means by that.
Well, sure.
I get that.
But
you are not inherently this all-powerful destroyer.
No.
You just happen to not save people in Metropolis that much. Yeah.
But so
it's your one Superman. I give you a pass.
Mm-hmm. So it cuts to a flashback where Clark and Jonathan are arguing, and he's like, "You're not my dad. You just found me in a field." So it's like,
right. I'm not your father, but we're doing the best we can. That's basically what he's saying.
Yeah. By letting children die in a bus, that's the best we can do.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like, I know I'm not your father. Then stop pretending to be. From Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That. So then,
it's all fun and games until they say, "Stop pretending to be," or "You're not my dad." All right, get out of my house.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because they can say that.
Yeah.
And it has happened in real life a lot. So you keep saying that if you want to. You're not my dad. Okay.
You're not my dad.
You want me to treat you like it?
So then they stop arguing because they see a tornado outside and they walk out of the car.
Which irks the hell out of me because tornadoes don't just randomly form.
Yeah.
You would have known if there was a tornado there due to a supercell or if the clouds turn a different color or something. Exactly. Tornadoes don't just appear. No. This is another one of those instances where they needed a scene just for the sake of needing a scene.
Mm-hmm.
They, as a guy who watches like a bunch of weather stuff involving tornadoes, that's not how that works. I don't care if this is a comic book movie. You don't just pop things up like that and expect people to just go with it without question.
Exactly. That's such a stupid defense too. Oh, it's a comic book movie. Why are you?
Okay, it's a comic book movie that's trying to make itself realistic. Explain that reasoning.
Yeah, how about
Explain that logic.
that?
Or Superman at that.
Yeah. The only thing that doesn't make sense is Superman himself because he can actually has powers and stuff. The tornado, you need to explain. Also, by the way, Martha jumps out of the car and leaves the dog in the car. So
yeah, El Martha. She just leaves the dog who was sitting next to her in the back seat.
So this is Martha's fault. So they go to the overpass.
Find him, kill Martha.
So they get everyone there. Martha's like, "Wait, Hank's still in the car." Hank is the dog, and then
Not
Clark tries to go there, and John's like, "No,
Go ahead.
You get to the overpass."
And this is the part that genuinely irks me about this scene. I see the hate and like backlash this scene gets. I understand it wholeheartedly. And I love Man of Steel, but I can't deny this scene sucks.
Oh yeah.
The way they could have just did this, if they wanted him to die by a tornado, the way they could have done this is that Jonathan Kent, on the way to the car, was slowly like maybe getting like dodging or like almost getting hit by debris or almost getting sucked up by a tornado until he reaches the car. In this scene, a car lands on top of theirs. He actually does get stuck.
Mm-hmm.
The way they could have done this is the only way you could have died in this situation is by two ways. You and the dog get stuck, or you let the dog out, but you're still stuck in the car and you die that way. Or the both of you get unstuck out of the car and the dog lives, but by the time you see the dog situated, it's already too late for you.
Yeah.
That's how you could have died in this situation. And I know what people are going to say, well, why didn't Clark just like run his way over there? Even if that means he'd break his cover. You're right. He could have done that. What pisses me off about this scene is like Jonathan could have lived.
Yeah.
He could have lived. You know what this man does? Don't worry, son. I'm going to teach you the ways of the aura farming strat, and holds out his hand and accepts fate. Knowing good and well you could have actually survived this.
Yep. The world's not ready. Shut up.
The world's not. No, the world doesn't need another terrible father is what it doesn't need.
Yeah.
That's what the world needs right now. Absence of crappy father figures in movies. Because you are definitely one of them. He's like, no, I'm gonna save you, son. Stop. Or a farm. Dies.
So
that's the thing about Henry Cavill in this movie too. It's like he gains infinite aura, loses negative infinite aura. Jonathan Kent did the same thing.
Imagine so he's like he was convinced that I had to wait, and then
and then you see this.
Yeah, it's like he's convinced I had to wait, that the world wasn't ready. What do you think? Lois should have just said, "I think you're a freaking moron."
Yeah,
I think you're freaking stupid.
I think you're an idiot.
Yeah. So Lois goes back to the Daily Planet with Jimmy Olsen ripoff.
It's not Jimmy Olsen. It's some old balding, creepo-looking guy. Looks like he hides out in the bushes of people's houses and look at them through their windows.
Yeah. So
he's supposed to be their Jimmy Olsen, but his name's like, what is it?
I don't know.
That's how much we care about the character.
Yeah. So say what?
I'll be right back again. You can keep going.
Okay. So she goes into Perry's office and he's so mad. He's mad that Lois published the story he told him not to by using Woodburn's website and the guy she was talking to let her publish the story about Superman. And So he gives her a 2-week leave or a 3-week leave. But he tells her that he believes her, and he's like, can you imagine how people on this planet would react if they knew that there was something like this out there? Again, Wonder Woman existed in the 1910s. There is an Atlantean, which I can see that being a secret. Like, I don't. I get it. It's really something to take in, but kind of, Wonder Woman existed, and that's really not the fault of Man of Steel, but yeah. Okay, so this is where, what's the next part here? So then we cut to Superman or Clark talking to his mom. They embrace, and he tells her that he's found out where he came from, and they have this little nice heart-to-heart moment where she's like, I don't want them to take you away from me, and he's like, I'm not going anywhere. So they just kind of reminisce on the old days and how she cared for him as a little kid. Yeah, that's a nice little scene. I think that's fine. Nice little moments there. And this is where we get to Martian Manhunter, or General Swanwick is his name. The General, who's Martian Manhunter, who doesn't do anything. And we find out that he is Martian Manhunter in the Snyder Cut. So, and this is something Donovan said, where it's just a bunch of people in like the military looking at screens. And this is one of those moments. I don't know what he's talking about over there. Also, this is where they find the alien ship for the Kryptonians, and this is a part where it looks like straight up, what was it? It looks like analog horror, and this is something I mentioned earlier. I do like that. So that's good. Oh, let me see. Do you take movie requests? I have a request. Sure. Yeah. I need movies to watch. I need to review some movies. So yeah, drop a request down there. But so there's the scene with the
Jonathan Kent's stupid. The end.
Yeah. Yeah, so I briefly just mentioned Lois takes a 3-week leave, but Perry believes her, but he doesn't want to freak out people about an alien. And then
Clark, you had an Amazonian,
exactly,
and an Atlantean, and a metahuman speedster.
I could see the Atlantean
and a motherfucker in a bat suit.
I could see the Atlantean
and a cyborg.
I could see the Atlantean being kept a secret, but like the Amazonian, no way.
The Amazonian who fought in World War I.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
There's a literal picture of her in the front of the photo.
Yeah, exactly.
Saban's Power Rangers 2017.
Oh, he asked if we take movie requests. So I
tell you what, that's a criminally underrated Power Rangers movie.
That is also a Michael Bay movie looking thing.
It does look like Michael Bay movie. I didn't like the suit at first because it looked like cheap Iron Man suits, especially the Red Rangers. I'll give it a watch again.
Yeah.
But I'll do you one better, Devon. I will show David the 1995 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers film. Because that is a really good. That is a good movie. I will stand on that hill. That is a good movie. But you know what's the sucky part about it?
Yeah.
It's not canon to MMPR. But they take elements from it.
Interesting.
I don't like that. I don't like that. They take elements and certain things from it, but it's not canon.
Dang.
I'm still showing it to you though.
Oh yeah, I'll watch it. And then Martha and Clark have a nice moment together. They meet up again. And then after that, we got the General Martian Manhunter who does nothing.
Yeah, Oliver Swanwick. His name is not Oliver. General Swanwick, who in Snyder Cut is literally Martian Manhunter.
Yep.
He did nothing.
Nope. And this is the part where they look at screens. And
just like every military force, when it comes to an alien species coming to Earth, we're just going to have a bunch of high-ranking officials, that one scientist, and a bunch of other grunts, and we're all going to be looking at screens asking what in the world's going on.
Yeah. And this is the part of like where I mentioned analog horror, where you see I think it's the Black Zero. Is that right?
Black Zero is the event that happened.
Okay, then just the ship that they arrive in.
Yeah.
And it looks like analog horror. And
yeah,
that's cool.
It looks pretty cool. And the funny thing is, he said something along the lines of like freaking out because someone in a telescope freaked out the world or something like that. And I'm just like, you say that, and then a couple minutes later they plaster it on the news.
Yeah.
It's like, I get if you trying to say like, oh, I don't want no civilians like finding out that aliens exist. Then the news somehow found out in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
Almost in the same scene at that.
Yeah.
Also, Zod cuts off all the power in Metropolis and even at the Kent's house, which also this feels like something Henry Cavill's Superman would do, yet I don't understand why would he ever do this. He drinks a Budweiser. Like, he drinks a beer. He can't get drunk.
No.
So I don't know what he's drinking it for. I guess he's like pulling a Wolverine. He's just drinking it for the taste.
Which I don't understand.
Seeing Superman drink is so off to me.
Which they did in Superman 3. But
it feels off to me not because of like, oh, he wouldn't drink. It's not that. It's the fact that he can't get drunk. So what are you drinking this for?
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, okay, I guess I'll just drink it for the taste. Your mom just casually gives you a beer. Okay.
The taste is not that great. That is kind of funny to think about, though. Like, her mom has beer.
Mom has beer, and she just cracks open a cold one with her son. just like any Southern family, I guess.
I didn't know the Kents were chill like that.
I didn't know they were either. Well, then again, the dad was cool if Clark killed, so they're extremely chill.
Yeah. So yeah, the power goes out, and
then
I guess it goes out everywhere because
it goes out everywhere across. I want to say across the world.
It does, yeah.
Because there are some places that like the only thing that's working is their TV.
Yes.
And they do the zoom in shot of the ship from the outside, which is cool. And then they go back inside, and they have like this dope like analog horror-esque scenario where the TV is just staticky and it cuts on. That's the only thing that's on, and it makes like this garbled noise, like something is like in pain almost. Mm-hmm. And then it's like Zod, as cheery and as nice as he is, puts subtitles on the message. Yeah. Not just in English, but everywhere you go, it's just a different subtitle for the native languages of the people watching.
That's very considerate. Yeah.
For a villain, that's very considerate.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, analog horror is pretty cool. They did Superman analog horror in this movie before the Superman analog horror on YouTube.
Yeah. Honestly, if they made a horror-themed Superman story, Henry Cavill's would definitely be the perfect fit.
Yeah. And then Zod's... Sorry, go ahead.
And then Zod showed up, kind of. He showed up on screen, basically telling the people of Earth, if you don't hand us Cal, we gonna find him. You don't want us to find him. I know I'm obviously paraphrasing in what he's saying, but that's essentially the gist of his message.
Yeah.
He will look like you. He will talk like you, but he is not one of you.
And then next morning, it's talking about the transmission, what happened. And then Woodburn on the news, who she gave her story to publish, he's like, "Oh yeah, Lois knows who Superman is." So then,
You slimy snitch.
yeah. So
then meanwhile, Lois gets contacted by the feds outside of her apartment.
Yeah, and then she's
like multiple vans for the feds. Even one federal agent looks up at her in her window.
Yeah.
She really got swatted.
She did. So then we get to the next scene. Clark is at a church with a priest for some reason. Then it flashes.
I kind of like this scene.
It kind of, yeah. But then it flashes back to when he's getting bullied by these kids and getting pushed around. And he's like, "Fight back, Kent. Come on." And then Clark's holding back. So the kids eventually leave because his dad's watching the kids. So they eventually let's get out of here. And then Pete Ross comes back. So he's basically a buddy now. So helps him up. And then there's this cool moment where Clark's holding on to a part of the fence. And then when he lets go, it's bent. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the kid actor who played as this young Clark Kent, and I told you this, he looks like Smallville Superman for some reason.
He does. He does.
He looks like a shrunken Smallville Superman.
I think that was good. Good there.
I liked that bit when he bent the fence post and no one noticed. That's the cool part. Nobody noticed. And it's just like, ugh. You knew. And he even said, "I wanted to fight back. I really did." And then Jonathan Kent's dumbass says, "I know. I wanted to see you hit him too."
Yeah. But he's like, "Yeah, but then
your son punches him in the jaw and he doesn't get back up. That's you. That's your fault."
Yeah. And he's like,
Jonathan wanted to see his son turn evil.
Yeah.
You would have fit right in with the Brightburn universe.
Yeah. I think and there's a part where he's like, you got to grow up. You got to decide what kind of man you want to grow up to be. Because whatever he is, good or bad, he's going to change the world. Just tell him to be good. Man. Why do you give him options?
He's going to be a man of steel.
Oh. And so he tells that it cuts back to present day where he's telling the priest, Clark's telling the priest that he's the alien they're looking for. And he's like, "Oh,
the alien assassin?"
No, we're not. They don't know about that. So Clark's like, "Should I turn myself in?" And he's like,
yes.
He's like, "What does your gut tell you?" Which I don't think that's what a priest should do, but whatever. So
I see the vision, but I agree. A priest shouldn't just say that.
Yeah.
You would think he'd say something like, "Go with God."
Something like that.
Trust your heart or something like that. Instead of, "What does your gut tell you?"
The heart is deceitful above all things. But
the what?
The heart is deceitful above all things.
Well, then trust your brain.
Okay.
Anyway, because that's the one that does the decision-making processes at the end of the day.
But then he says, "You gotta take a leap of faith. The trust part comes later."
Yeah, Miles. That's all it takes.
A leap of faith.
Proceeds to jump off building.
They did it again. They stole another thing from Man of Steel.
Proceeds to jump off building and run out of web fluid, hitting smack dab on the concrete. But yeah, they took that from freaking Man of Steel.
Oh my god.
Marvel, you not slick. I know Marvel and DC do this all the time, but come on now.
Yeah. So then Superman decides to turn himself into the military.
With the suit.
And he's like, "Yeah, you gotta free Lois if you're gonna arrest me." And then they put handcuffs on him, which they mention, and she's like, "You let them handcuff you?" He's like, "Wouldn't be much of a surrender if I resisted."
Oh yeah, when he was walking with the military, I love this shot.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like when the when the group chat gets leaked, and it's just that scene.
Yes.
And the memes, it's just like I couldn't help it. I couldn't help but to laugh at that.
Yeah. That was funny. Then it's like, what does the S stand for? He says it's not an S. On my world, it means hope.
It's an S.
It's an S.
That's what she said.
She's like,
That's an
well,
S.
here it's an S.
Yeah.
Then she's like, how about super? And then she gets cuts off.
Yeah, she was gonna say Superman.
Yeah,
Would have been sweet if she did it.
I guess so.
I don't like how they later on call him Superman. It's just very lame.
Yeah. And then basically they're interrogating him, and it's then he's like, oh, let's put our cards on the table here, General. And then he breaks out of the cuffs.
Let's put our cards on the table here. General proceeds to just casually break the handcuffs.
I love it. You're scared
Just
of me
by moving.
Yeah. You're scared of me because you can't control me. You don't, and you never will. But that doesn't mean I'm your enemy.
Literally, Martian Manhunter should have came out right then and there.
Yeah.
Maybe not get rid of the disguise, but like he should have said something.
Yeah. And then it's like, yeah, we're gonna have to give you over to Zod. And then he's like, okay.
That's basically it. Okay.
Yeah. And then he shares a little moment with Lois, which I don't buy into their relationship at all. I'm sorry.
It happened too fast.
It did. They don't have any chemistry really.
No.
Or it doesn't show it.
She really just met this guy.
Yeah.
That's the thing about superhero movies and some movies in general. If you just force a relationship with like no chemistry, it's not believable in the slightest.
Mm-mm.
Just like him, just because the plot dictated it.
Yeah, and because he's hot.
I mean,
yeah. But like, nah. And then the Kryptonians show up in the desert, and the military's behind Superman, and then Feora. I'm just saying.
Hey, buddy.
I'm just saying.
That's just female Zod, but hey, buddy.
No. Female Zod would not be attractive, dude.
No, if it was female Zod, I would still hear the Michael Shannon voice in her. I would still hear Michael Shannon.
He's like, "Hey, daddy," and then, so she's like, "Hey, what's up, Cal?" And then she goes over to the military, and she's like, "Yeah, Lois needs to come too."
You didn't say anything about bringing one of our own. Perhaps you would like to tell Zod that you refused, or something like that.
And he's like, I don't care what you tell him. Badass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, the dude who was there in the Arctic, that one soldier, he also apprehended Lois. The same guy. I actually came around into liking this character because he has so much balls in this film, especially against Feora. And he's just an ordinary human.
Exactly.
He's like, I don't care what orders you give him.
Yeah.
And she's just like, okay. So that's how it's gonna be. And then I think it was Swanwick who says she can go. No, it was Lois herself that said,
she was just I'll go. Okay. But so then in the ship, Clark gives her the USB. Then they give her a breather, which I don't know how that operates, because like the thing with astronauts is like they have oxygen built into the suit. Yeah. But this is just like on her head, and it just wraps around her like a strap.
My guess is this is it acts somewhat like a rebreather, where you inhale oxygen and then you breathe it out, and then the rebreather turns the carbon dioxide back into oxygen, and it just keeps circulating. That's the best thing I can think of, especially since it's just a helmet and like these tube-like things that go around her neck. My assumption is that kind of acts as like the rebreather for the entire thing, not just the thing that puts the helmet on her.
Hmm.
Especially since there's no oxygen tank. That's like my best guess. But the thing is, what is she breathing? Because it can't just be oxygen.
No.
Unless Kryptonians can breathe oxygen like a human can.
Yeah. I don't know about that. But
And she even stated they looked into her mind too, so she probably passed out from it.
okay.
She probably did.
She probably did. So then they meet Zod, and he's happy to see him. You can't tell because he has one expression throughout the whole movie, but
Anger.
yeah. So once they meet, Cal or Clark starts to feel weak because he's not used to this. He's not used to Kryptonian
Atmosphere.
So
And
it's kind of like kryptonite, I guess. I don't know. Not
Kinda.
exactly.
It's more. I think this is more or less like Red Sun atmosphere, because in the comics, Red Sun, like the Red Sun, also weakens Superman.
True.
In a sense, I thought of this was kind of similar to like the Red Sun atmosphere of Krypton itself.
Right.
That's why he was weak like this. And throughout the DCEU, we don't see anything resembling a Red Sun or Red Sun energy. This is the closest thing. And there's no kryptonite, obviously. So that's what I interpreted this as. Like it had Red Sun energy flowing throughout the ship's atmosphere. And it was really messing with him. And they couldn't do anything about it because he just had to let it take its course. Because he starts vomiting blood and Zod just stands over him like, I can't do anything. This has to run its course. And it made him pass out.
So if he's used to Earth's atmosphere, shouldn't Lois be kind of doing the same thing?
That's the thing. I don't know how she's able to survive this.
Yeah.
But like I said, in the movie, she also states that she passed out too. It also was, they say that they looked into her mind as well. So it could be implied that she probably did pass out from a whole different means. Probably either because like she's not used to this atmosphere either, or like her breathing whatever they're breathing in that like helmet. My guess is she did pass out, just like Superman did. We just didn't see it.
Yeah.
How else would they have looked into her head?
True. So
and
then
she must have just regained consciousness before Superman, because
so.
She's just because she's been seen by a Kryptonian soldier being thrown into an empty room.
True.
So it probably did affect her, but probably not as much.
Mm-hmm. So then we get kind of a not a mind control, but kind of a mind thing going on. Mind freak going on in Clark's head, where Zod's talking to him about what happened to them when they're in the Phantom Zone and they saw their planet was destroyed. And they managed. Yeah, how'd you find your way back to Earth? He says we managed to retrofit the Phantom projector into a hyperdrive. Father made a similar modification to the craft that brought you here. So yeah, also another reason, bad idea to leave them there alive in the Phantom Zone, and then they could just leave.
Yeah.
And then they were able to find planets that they used for resources back in the way back when.
And all we found was death.
All we found was death. But they found a world
engine somehow.
So that still works.
An intact world engine at that.
Yeah. And then they found the distress beacon. How? We don't know. But they found it.
How?
So what was the rest? So he's basically trying to get Cal to join him. And so in the vision, there's the world engine crashing on the Earth, making big dusty waves. So Krypton can live again with the Codex. And then Superman, also Zod. They both have the cape and the black suit.
Yeah.
And I wish Zod had this look more often.
Yeah.
Instead of just
I wish
armor.
Zod on his black suit had a cape as well. So, and because at first, that's actually kind of what got me thinking, why do y'all have capes? When they first introduced the Superman suit, why do y'all have capes? Is this like a fashion thing that y'all used to do? And then when you see them, Zod with it, it's just like, okay, so this had to have been like something that they would do up in Krypton.
Mm-hmm.
For what reason, I don't know. This must just be part of their attire choices, especially with their family crest on there.
Yeah. So then there's a whole thing with like, what's the foundation going to be built on? When Krypton lives again, it's going to be humans, and then Superman sinks down into the skeletons.
Like, no,
like I can't be a part of this. No,
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 no. And then he wakes up, and Zod's like, your dad fought with honor, and he's like, oh, you killed him, and he's like, yeah, and that was it.
Your dad fought with honor. Oh, you killed him.
Yeah.
And how you figured that one out that fast?
Yeah. Then Zod's
how you
like,
deduced that theory?
Yeah. And Zod says, not a day goes by where it doesn't haunt me.
Oh, okay.
But I have a duty to my people. Stuff like that.
That's what I like about this kind of villain.
He's interesting. Yeah.
Because it's like he's just trying. He's like a proto Thanos, if this makes sense. Because you remember,
kinda.
like Thanos tried to save his people on Titan, just nobody believed him, and then he pulled off then he jumped the gun extremely.
Yep, exactly.
This is in the same boat. All Zod wants to do is save Krypton and save his people. He can't let go of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like this. That's what makes Michael Shannon's Zod very interesting. Because he is a bad person who does bad things, but he doesn't seem inherently all that evil.
Right.
He's just a guy who's just torn with his past. Like, he just can't let it go.
Mm-hmm. So in the next scene, looking at screens, finds the bogies, and that's the scene. And then we get to the scientist who takes some of Superman's blood, which is important later to find out that the Codex is inside of Clark. Which you mean they established that already, so that's not really a spoiler. Lois gets thrown into jail, and then, oh yeah, convenient that there is a USB drive or a place to put your USB in the chamber. So that's not
ironic. It's convenient for the sake of being convenient, as
exactly
as CinemaSins would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ew.
Excuse me. So she puts that in, and then Jor-El shows up, and she's like, "What the freak?" So he's like, I'm his dad. I'm Superman's dad. I'm gonna help you." And then that's the scene. I designed the ship. Of course you did.
You designed everything.
Yeah.
But you couldn't design a ship for you and your wife.
Exactly. It's like, what didn't you make in Krypton, dude? Like, so he opens doors and helps her fight off soldiers. So if Lois can fight these stupid soldiers, anyone can. They're worse than stormtroopers. I'm saying it now.
Yeah, it also doesn't help that they're from Krypton too.
Exactly.
That doesn't help.
No. So Superman regains his strength and breaks out of the cuffs. So there are alien Kryptonian ships going to where the pod is, which is at the Kent's house in the barn. Then Lois gets into the pod gets into an escape pod to get out of the ship. She beats a Kryptonian for some reason. So on the ship, it's basically like a red sun where they don't have powers in the ship, I guess.
I guess not.
Okay, then I guess that's fair enough.
I mean,
So
if God didn't have powers, and Superman didn't have powers, it's safe to assume that.
then how did he get his strength back then by breaking out of the
Wasn't the sun there?
not at the moment. I don't know.
I could have sworn it had the sun there.
I mean, it was just him in like there was just a closed room.
I know how it was. When Jor-El told Lois, "I know a way how to beat him. I mean, I know a way how to escape the ship, and I know how to turn this ship's atmosphere to that of Earth's." He did just that, which explains why Lois no longer needed the rebreather and why Superman was able to break free. It felt more akin to Earth atmosphere instead of Kryptonian.
So here's another problem then. How come it didn't work for the Kryptonians then?
What do you mean?
So if Earth's atmosphere, so it's basically like the yellow sun or Earth's atmosphere. If Superman gets his powers back because of that, Kryptonians get Superman's powers when they're on Earth. So why not on the ship where Earth's atmosphere is there?
I'm not mad at you. No, wait, hold on. I'm not mad at you.
Oh, I didn't think that. No.
But like I'm really thinking you got a point with that. Why didn't they actually inherit his powers?
Yeah.
That's a good question. It's only when like they went to Smallville is when they started acting like they had powers all of a sudden.
Right. They just couldn't see correctly yet, but they still had powers.
Meanwhile, Feora was super jumping like she was the Hulk.
Yeah.
And they both had, and her and the big guy had some super strength.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of a frick up there, but
kind of.
So then Zod and Superman's like, "Is it true that the Codex is inside of me?" And Jor-El's like, "We wanted you to be the bridge between two peoples, learn what it meant to be human and stuff like that." Like, what is the Codex gonna do though? Like, I mean, he has the knowledge of Krypton and stuff, but I don't.
My guess is that the reason why he put the Codex on the USB was to learn the knowledge of Krypton. Okay. My other theory is that the reason why they put the Codex inside of Cal is because when Zod talks to that one scientist type, the scientist is like, "I know where the Codex is. It's inside his cells." And then he goes on to something about like the cells of the people in the Codex actually binded with his own. And Zod says, "Does he need to be alive for this for us to take the Codex from him?" And the scientist is like, "No." I think the reason why Superman is strong like he is not just because of the sun's energy, but more so the cells that have bonded with his.
Okay.
Because that's essentially a lot, like millions or like thousands of Kryptonians into one body, essentially.
Right.
And the way how they show it looked like small embryos bonding with his actual blood cells.
Yeah.
So it's like...
This is kind of reminding me of like Amazing Spider-Man 2, where it's like no one else could be Spider-Man. Peter Parker was destined.
And then Miles comes along.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. Miles actually did show up.
That'd be funny. It's like, wait, are we related? Who's
the sir? I don't know about it.
And then Jor-El gives the speech. Superman saves Lois. Well, he's about to save Lois. and he floats out of the spaceship like Jesus, posing like Jesus. We get it. So he flies.
The first of 2 times in the DCEU.
Yeah. So then he flies out, saves Lois out of the pod before it lands on the ground, which I'm kind of surprised that exploded and the pod that he was in as a baby didn't. I just thought of that.
What?
Like the escape pod that Lois was in that Superman was saving her from exploded, but the pod that Cal showed up in as a baby didn't explode when it landed on the ground.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
That's
that.
Jor-El's work right there.
Yeah. So then it cuts to Martha Kent, and the spaceships are outside of her house. And then after that, Superman lands Lois to safety and then senses that Martha's in trouble.
Which is another scene James Gunn stole. So in the ending of Superman, you see Lois and Supes spinning around as they go upwards. In this movie, you see Lois and Supes spinning around as they go downwards.
See,
Gunn, you ain't slick, bro.
See, it's not the same because he's going down, but ours is going up.
Man, shut your...
Yeah.
People who dog on this movie has clearly never watched it and seen parallels.
So then Zod and his goons are outside of her house and is like, "Where's the Codex?" And then she's like, "Oh, screw you," which is not the best thing to say.
Gets choked with one hand.
Yeah, then gets thrown some like on the ground, which is like, oof, bro. So Fiora goes to the barn, opens the pod as like the baby pod. The Codex is not there. Zod throws a truck into the house, and he's like, "Where's the Codex?" And Superman flies in, and just brings Zod far, far away. And this scene, out of context, is cool because Superman's tough here, but.
You don't hurt my mom.
You think you can threaten my mother?
My mother?
But the thing is, he left a bunch of Kryptonians there still, so they can still hurt. They can still hurt her. So he's just
for all Superman knows, he just did that to Zod. His mom is probably dead.
Probably,
and they could have killed her. It is through God-given luck of plot armor she is still alive in these films.
So then they crash into a 7-Eleven gas station. Zod
they crash into like a one of those wheat things, you know, those big tube things.
That's true. They do
crash into that. That's somehow exploded.
Yeah,
and then they go into a gas station, crash to a gas station. Now they're in Smallville.
And the gas station explodes, and Zod throws fire off of himself, which is pretty cool.
Pretty hype moment.
Yeah.
And then, like, his rebreather, I'm calling it the rebreather. I don't know what it is. I assume it's a rebreather. It starts glitching out, and it looked kind of like a fabric cloth like substance. And he rips it, and he tugs on it, and then he pulls it off. All of a sudden, his senses are going haywire too. He's seeing things, hearing things, kind of like what young Clark did when he was a kid. Superman does the most asinine BS in this whole film. Just he straight up goes on the anime protagonist arc. You feel that, Zod? It's like my mother told me how to hone in my senses. You'll start to see things clearly. It's like, why are you telling him this?
Yeah, he's like, she told me to focus on what I wanted to see.
Yeah, and it's just like, dude, you literally have an advantage right now. Please take it.
Yeah.
Why are you standing there talking to him like this? You were not Son Goku waiting for the villain to power up. Dude.
Solo leveling, looking off.
And then when he actually does hone in his senses, he starts to whip Superman in Metropolis.
Yep. So good job.
Oh, good job, buddy.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, it does remind me of breathe it in. That's fear. You're not brave. Men are brave.
Breathe
Which
in.
actually, that does it's kind of a neat parallel there.
Breathe in. That's fear.
I will give it that. At least the
I know
parallel
people
is there.
actually thought that was fear toxin he laced with the kryptonite.
No.
I'm
He's
just
just trying to-
saying, Batman would not be that freaking stupid.
No.
He is not that
No.
dumb.
If Superman had fear toxin, that was literally
we're done. He's
that was
done.
literally a part of was it Injustice?
Movie's over if that happened.
Yeah. Isn't that right? Injustice, is that what causes Superman like the whole tragedy to happen at the beginning? Or was that just
I know there was some level of brainwashing courtesy of the Joker, but I can't remember what it was specifically.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So yeah, and he gets interrupted by the spaceship blasting him into a pickup truck. They take Zod back to the ship. They fly off, and then Superman has to fight Fiora and the big dude in Smallville.
Yeah, we
And
don't
this
know. We don't know Giant Man's name. We just call him Big Guy.
Big guy, big boy.
He's just a big guy.
Yeah. So everyone's getting indoors. I don't think that's going to do anything for you.
Everyone inside. Okay.
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 And then the military shows up with their freaking fighter jets and helicopters with missiles on them in Smallville. Buildings.
Freaking small town, bro.
Get inside. What do you mean?
You know what you should be doing? Evacuating the civilians.
No time. But yeah. No,
yes, you have time. Evacuate those civilians.
Yeah, so yeah, the planes come in, shoot on they shoot them. They're shooting at him. There's a whole fight scene here.
Even Superman gets shot in the head.
That is true. He gets shot in the eye. I think Superman Returns did it better when he got shot in the eye. That was pretty cool. But
yeah,
still works here. So then the big guy does a Hulk jump onto the planes, ripping it apart. So does Fiora. Oh yeah, the plane explodes on the road in Smallville. So we don't know how much of the damage on the buildings it causes, but the explosion happens on the in the town. So people are probably
and then
dead.
Fiora gets her hype moment and Aura Farm moment when she jumps in the air, coming out of the fireball, and then the fire jet guys and fire pilot is like, oh shit, and then dies.
I love that.
Then dies.
Well, he doesn't die.
That.
Superman saves him. Actually, he just goes. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Superman actually saves somebody.
He does, but then he's like, Superman just knocks her over. Whoa, hang on.
Superman saves the dude, but I bet he got whiplash, vertigo, so many other things.
I don't know, but they crash into the IHOP where Pete Ross is at, and they look at each other. It's like, oh, what?
Huh?
That's kind of funny.
Also, then they have an anime fight.
Then they have an anime fight in IHOP, and everyone's fine because they're shockwaves, some sort of low-level shockwave, still a shockwave. And
with every hit, it's a shockwave.
Exactly. And they're fine. And then get thrown around a little bit more.
As Fiora talking mad shit to him, which was dope.
Yeah. And then this is your profile picture.
Yeah. So what happened here? Fiora and the big guy started jumping Superman.
Yep.
They jumping me. Fiora hit him, and I think the big guy hit him with a clothesline or something. Next thing you know, it's this photo.
Mm-hmm.
We literally had to stop the movie because we couldn't stop laughing at the freaking death pose.
I had to.
We had to screenshot this.
It was so funny.
It was so great. Like, he's dead.
Yeah.
So, Chad, who do you think did it better when it comes to the Superman death pose? Cavill or Gordon Sweat?
Cavill. I don't care what anyone says.
Cavill looked like he legit died. Meanwhile, Gordon Sweat just pulled a Yamcha.
Yeah. There's some cool combo moves, and just like how they're fighting is very interesting in this fight.
Then Superman, like an actual super being fight.
Yeah.
And then they actually jump him really well. Instead of just taking one at a time, no, they go in like at the same time on Superman.
That is true. And the laser vision is a thing. So
yeah, Yeah, this is also another good parallel I found with like this movie and the James Gunn one. Henry Cavill's Superman uses heat vision a lot more than he does ice breath. Yeah, Corrin Sweat Superman uses ice breath a lot more than he does heat vision.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
I mean, both could be used equally. I think that this is one thing.
You would
Go
think
ahead.
this Superman would use it too, though. Just utilize everything.
Right. And this is where like both sides, like this movie and 2025 Superman, both kind of go too far to one side where they don't stay right in the middle. Like like the new ones, say what you will about it, it's a little too lighthearted. By that, it's like not taken as seriously. This one's taken way too seriously, but there can't. but there can't.
It's taken way too serious, and we still have the sequel that comes afterwards.
Yep. And then there's like no good in between. I always compare Superman any kind to the animated series Superman, like in Justice League Unlimited. I grew up with that stuff, but personal preference probably.
I think a good middle ground when it comes to like being super serious and super lighthearted would, in a way, kind of be the Donner movie. At least the first one. I haven't seen the sequels, but there are some serious moments here and there, but it's still a lighthearted Superman at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think another good example for this, even though I haven't really seen much of them, is Tyler Hoechlin's one from the Arrowverse and Superman and Lois. He has some serious moments, but he's also a very lighthearted Superman as well.
Yeah.
He can be live action can have a good middle ground between light and dark when it comes to Superman. It's just these two movies just take one route over the other.
Yeah. I do need to watch Superman and Lois. I need to give that a try.
I want to watch most of everything from him in the Arrowverse, but I will not mind watching Superman and Lois.
And then, so going back to the movie, the big guy throws a van at a helicopter, and a guy falls out. And Superman catches the guy. He's like, "You okay?" So he saves another.
And then he almost gets two-pieced again.
Almost, yeah. So they're fighting again. Helicopter crashes. Where? I don't know. He crashes.
I know. Helicopter crashes. Ballsy guy is what I call him.
Ballsy guy.
He shows up.
Yeah.
I don't. I could be wrong, but then like more soldiers show up.
Yeah, soldiers are showing up, shooting at Fiora, and she's like just kicking their ass.
She does the most anime type fighting I have ever seen in a live action movie, and this ain't even anime.
It's like
she's just zipping through left and right.
It's just like they just got here on Earth. How are they getting these power moves out so quickly? Like that's
it's got to be the temperature from the atmosphere, and then they come back to Earth.
But like
gotta be
just
that fast.
It's like here's a power move that looks like you've had that for a while.
She grabs onto one guy and throws him into another.
Yeah,
and they both just go off screen.
She's
literally hitting soldiers so bad. I think I could be wrong here. Weren't they disintegrating?
I don't think so. I think they were just punched really hard.
I know they were hurt really bad.
Yeah. So then bullets do nothing, and then ballsy guy shoots at her, and it does nothing.
He shoots at her with like a little submachine gun, runs out of ammo, did nothing.
Yeah.
Starts shooting her with a pistol, like that was gonna work. Shoots at her, does nothing, runs out of ammo. He then pulls out a knife.
Well, before that, Superman does throw the big guy into a train station. So
yeah, he throws him into a train, somehow explodes the entire train station. But then, like ballsy guy, he pulls out a knife, and so did Feora. And she says the dopest line she's ever said in this whole film. A good death is its own reward. And this man was ready to die for his people.
Bro, he
ready to go forward with it. And he saw these people die. He was ready to go to war with it.
Yeah. And then Superman comes in and tackles her.
Yeah. I'm just like, I respect you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the soldiers we need in superhero movies like that. We need more people like that.
Yeah.
It's like he gonna lose, but he's like, fuck it, we ball.
Yeah. And then her mask starts her covering
up.
starts messing up too.
Yeah.
Superman gets a train thrown at him, so that's funny.
Yeah. Comically large trains that starts hurling towards Superman in the air.
And Sears. So
Sears. Oh yeah, Feora, sorry to backtrack, threw Superman into a safe at a bank.
Oh yeah, she does.
You knew that. I'm telling you right now, the safe took some damage, but you know your money's safe in Smallville if Superman didn't destroy it.
Yeah, it's like watching
your stuff is safe and secure.
Yeah, it's like watching videos of like which gun is gonna get through this particular whatever, and it's like let's go to the 50 cal, and it's just like it goes straight through when the other bullets didn't.
Yeah.
And then they shoot a missile at Feora.
She just blocks it with a hand, but she still takes damage from it.
Mm-hmm. And then
she's knocked out.
Yeah, and then the alien ships blow up the jet fighters, which crash into Smallville on the road, where the explosions go on the road, and somehow maybe someone lives. I don't know how, but anyway, they
leave.
Yeah,
Big Cat takes Feora, goes to the ship. They leave, and then some more soldiers show up, including Ballsy Guy. And then Superman just walks out like, nothing happened to me just now. I totally didn't get. No one totally threw a train at me.
Yeah, definitely not.
What I like about this is I get what they're trying to go for, but at the same time, it's like you do realize this man caused half this shit. He's the reason for this. But like Ballsy Guy, he looks at Superman and he's like, stop. This man is not our enemy.
Yeah.
And he's like, thank you, General. And then he flies off.
Yeah.
I like that scene, but it's like you do realize this man committed mutual destruction on sheer accident, but he still did it.
Exactly. So then we cut to Martha looking through the scrapbooks in her destroyed house. She's fine. I don't know how she's fine, but she is. Superman's like, oh, on her. Yeah. Superman's like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, cool.
I like this scene too, where it's just like, oh, nice suit, son. He's like, thank you. Mm-hmm. And he's looking around concerned about the house. And Martha says, it's the only stuff, Clark. It can be replaced. And he responds with, not you.
But you can't, yeah.
Yeah, but you can't. I like that.
I do like that. But you should have thought about that before.
Should have thought about that before, Clark, but I see what you're going with.
Yeah. And then Lois shows up. She's like, I know how to stop them, Clark. And then it cuts to General Zod.
It literally does. It just cuts.
Yeah. It cuts to Zod and
with his own USB. Somehow.
That is true.
He has his own. I don't know how. You would think it would have his crest on there, which is just a big O, which looks like it looks like the letter O. But no, it's not. It's just a deformed version of the Superman USB. Mm-hmm. And then Jor-El shows up.
Well, not yet. That's later. But yeah, so this part is when Zod shows up back in the ship, and the scientist, after taking some of Superman's blood, tells him that the codex is actually inside him and it's not in the pod.
Yeah. Yep.
And he's like, does he need to be alive for us to extract the codex?
He said no.
Then
release the world engine.
So there's one in the Indian Ocean, moving at Mach 24, by the way.
Yeah, Mach 24.
That is extremely fast. It's moving like it has fire on the tips.
Mach 24, for those, if you want to learn, that is 17.8 thousand miles per hour.
Yeah.
And it is somehow moved that fast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that is like, oh god. Hold on. Sorry if I nerd out on this, but
no, it's okay.
That is approximately 29,635.2 kilometers per hour in the speed of sound, which is in English very, very fast.
Yeah.
Good lord, for a big structure like that.
At least Zod was considerate enough to put it in the Indian Ocean where no people are at for it to
Yeah.
land there. And then the
This
other,
villain's very considerate. First, he hands out subtitles. He restores power, and then he just puts it in the Indian Ocean. He could have put it in like Metropolis or somewhere.
yeah. And like, it reminds me of the line from Monsters versus Aliens when it's like, so just to recap, I come in peace, I mean you no harm, and you all will die. Galaxar out, and that's that's what it reminds
Real.
me of. But yeah, the CG looks great with
Yeah.
the alien ships and everything. And Zod's like, bring the Phantom Drive online, so it shoots down the white laser and where they both meet up at. There's one floating in the air in Metropolis, and then the other one's on the ground, secure at the Indian Ocean. And then they meet each other in the middle, at the center of the Earth, with the lasers.
And the Black Zero event commences.
Yes. So stuff rises up and then goes back down once the blast goes, and then it's vice versa on the other side.
And it's just like an infinite, like you go up, get crushed.
Yep.
Up, then crushed. And it's like bouncing between the world engine and the ship. And it has like a cool revving sound every time it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It is so cool. And they actually explain what's happening. They're terraforming, trying to, wasn't it changing the mass of Earth?
Pretty much. Turning Earth into Krypton. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, this is just Dark of the Moon at this point.
Yeah.
This is essentially Transformers 3.
Mm-hmm. And then one of the guys is like, they find a way to take him down, and they have Superman with them. And he's like, Superman? He's like, yeah, the alien. They're calling him Superman.
Yeah, I don't like how they say that.
That was such a lame way to introduce it.
It's so lame.
Yeah.
I would have liked it better if Lois just finished the sentence.
Mm-hmm.
At least like Lois, Martha, or Superman himself should call himself that.
Agreed.
One of those three. It's like the military. They're calling him Superman. Okay, why? Where'd you get that one from?
I don't know.
You better not say because of the S. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I gotta pee.
Okay. Oh, I don't know why you had to announce that.
Well, just to let you know how long it's gonna take.
You could have just said I'll be back in 5 minutes. And
okay.
Anyway, so the world engine starts, and I think, and I could be wrong, this is when Superman starts flying to the Indian Ocean, and that's when everybody starts. No, okay. So this is where Lois and Clark, not Dean Cain, go to the military base, and they both explain to the soldiers and even Swanwick that in order to stop the world engine, in order to stop like the ship in Metropolis, they have to use Superman's pod. They have to use Superman's pod because it was built with a phantom driver, just like Zod's ship was. So what they do is they tell them the plan of they having to fly the ship, Superman's baby pod, into Zod's ship, thus recreating the Phantom Zone generator again to send everybody there back to the Phantom Zone. And they're lugging the ship into a plane, one that can actually transport it. As for, and I think the USB is still in Lois's possession. So what they do is they talk about that, and Superman says, I have to go after the world engine, essentially. So after they get like his pod ready, they give it like ready to go on the plane, Superman then flies off to stop the world engine itself. Then after that, I think that's when the military start to get ready to go. Either that, or that's when Zod himself, who somehow has his own USB, plugs it into the ship. His ship, the one with the babies in it, the one where Superman finds in the Arctic. Oh yeah, I was just saying how after before you left, after you left, how that the military, Superman and Lois, were planning on how to stop Zod's ship. They were going to use his escape pod to recreate the Phantom Zone generator again, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And that how he was flying off to stop the world engine. And I think this is the scene where after that, Zod talks to Jor-El with his own USB in the ship they found in the Arctic.
Right. I think, okay, so what happens there too, I think that's when he hones in his senses.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, so Superman, you might want to take a step back, maybe a little bit more. I thought that was a cool scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then you show this cool shot of him flying, and then it shows the world engine's doing its thing. Plane's taking off. They're getting ready for the battle to commence. And then Zod, yeah, he shows up, and then he has to like focus on what he wants to see. So that's easy for him.
Yeah.
And then he puts his USB in. Yeah, and then Jor-El shows up.
And going through there, I can't remember what the full thing was telling us. I mean, was saying about, but Zod is based. I think Jor-El was basically like, so you're fine with genocide, right? Yes. And Zod says yes. And I'm speaking about its merits to a ghost. We're both ghosts, Zod. I like that. I like that exchange there. And Zod just looks back at him like,
"What'd you say?"
Yeah, he just looks at him like, "Is that so?"
Oh, don't give me that, Zod. You know. So then it shows Superman at the world engine in the Indian Ocean.
And then he instantly gets weak from it.
That's true. He's coughing when he gets in the air
loudly.
Yeah. Okay, shut up, man.
Bro's sounding like he has like lung cancer after smoking 12 packs of Newports for 10 years.
Yeah. And then the big tentacles would
come out of the world,
shoot out of the ship. Yeah.
Looks kind of like a dragon almost, or like some sea moss.
Yeah. The palm of the sun. No, wait, the power of the sun, not the palm of the sun.
The palm of the sun and the power of my hand. But yeah, he's fighting that off. I like the idea where they have like a ring of water around the world engine.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was a cool touch.
And they have a ring of like debris around the other world engine too.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Also, these fighter jets are incredibly slow, especially the one transporting Superman's escape pod. They are really slow.
Yeah, and also like when they're like those shoot the missiles and it just deflects and they start hitting all the people and running in the street.
To be fair, though, that's not the military's fault.
No, but it's funny.
It is funny because they like, okay, let's destroy the ship. The ship's, I think, like because of how it's acting, it basically started deflecting the missiles and it just started falling down on the roads and stuff. And it's just like, bro.
Yeah.
And then once the missiles start doing it, then the actual fighter jets start doing it.
Yeah. And it's like,
you gotta be kidding me.
And the Daily Planet people are like, okay, we're leaving now. Oh, now?
Yeah, we're finally, now you're leaving.
Okay.
Never mind the big ship outside.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, so Perry says, now we're leaving. Okay. Everybody evacuates. I believe, wasn't it a plane that crashed into a tower?
Yeah.
A plane crashed.
Oops.
And Perry. No.
Okay.
No, not now. No.
It's still August. We're not.
It's still August. Not there yet.
We're not there yet.
But yeah, a plane crashed into a building. Somehow the building starts collapsing. I don't know how that works, but it starts collapsing.
Oh my gosh,
Perry grabs like the armor, like the hand of another employee. He starts running, and what kind of got to me is like, Perry, I know there's a lot of people and we're all frantic. You can't like motion everybody to follow you, bro. Yeah. You're just gonna let them all run and die underneath the building, which they do.
I mean, there's not enough time. I could see him trying to do
There's not
his
enough
best,
time, but you could at least say, come on now. Like, come on, we gotta go. Or like something.
Yeah.
He's just like, nah. I get more people eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the movie, he does get different people. So.
So, and then we cut to back to Zod and Jor-El. Jor-El's like, our people can coexist, and Zod says, so we can suffer through years of pain trying to adapt like your son has. It's like, dude,
No.
it took you like 2 hours to figure that out. You're fine.
My brother in Christ. It took you 2 hours what Clark tried to do in 33 years. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, like it took you. If it took you that long, you're fine.
You're fine. And besides, you don't have to worry about not having powers because of the red sun energy. And God forbid you got to worry about kryptonite because that's not here yet.
For some reason, that exists.
I don't even want to get into that yet until
we'll get there. We'll get there at BBS.
Well, like that's that's another plot hole that he could have said. So we could so we could spend like our time in pain like your son has. If you have the babies on board and they're hypothetically still alive, if you really don't want them to be like this, you could take them out. I'm just saying. Could take them out. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of baby on board. So.
But it's Krypton. The one that is Krypton.
And besides, if you wanted to say if Zod wanted to take over Earth, you have a bunch of kids right there. And if you die, you know what you could do? Escape, retreat, take all the children out, and then raise them.
Yeah.
You could. Make your own mini army out of these kids. And then they eventually become adults. Unless you really want to be a scumbag and use child soldiers, in which case, yeah, you got to get your neck snapped.
Child soldiers sounds like the kind of things Zod would do.
Probably.
Like, I don't want to do that. Well, you're gonna.
I want to be Superman.
Yeah. And then the whole ghost speech happens. The Krypton you're clinging on to is gone. And then you'll fail.
You'll fail. Yeah, you're talking about genocide. Yes, and I'm speaking its merits to a ghost. We're both ghosts, Zod. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's just so simple. I love it.
Let's see. There's a part where it's like, my son's twice the man you are. Tell me, you have Jor-El's memories, his consciousness. Can you experience his pain? I will harvest the codex from your son's corpse. Blah 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 blah. I don't know what that's supposed to signify, really.
Me neither.
But anyway, he pushes the key in all the way, or the USB in all the way. Jor-El vanishes. Then they fly the ship from the Arctic or Canada or wherever. I forgot. Oh yeah, he's flying it to Metropolis.
Yeah.
Cuts back to Tentacles fighting Superman. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, then he gets thrown down into the ground where the world engine's shooting the laser down, and he's where the ground is at and where the laser's at.
And David Cornswet could never.
We're getting there. So then it cuts back to Metropolis. Perry, Jenny, who's the girl, and then what's the guy's name? Jenny.
Lombard or something.
Lombard, yeah.
Who I assume is supposed to be this universe's Jimmy Olsen.
Pretty much. But then Jenny's stuck in rubble. They're trying to get her out. And I do like this scene.
Yeah.
I don't hate this scene. Superman should be saving more people, but I do like the struggle with the humans and the aliens. And then it shows, this is the David Cornswet could never.
David could never. I'm sorry, James Gunn fans. There's no way he could survive a world engine beaming down on him as it's terraforming the Earth, and he is slowly flying up it.
Yep.
David Cornswet could never. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so he's raising his fist high against the laser. He's looks constipated, and
constipated, bro.
He's looking constipated, Imagine being constipated in the apocalypse. That's gotta suck.
You really gotta use the bathroom during the apocalypse, but you're so scared you
Yeah.
have to run away.
Or just crap your pants, and it's like I don't care anymore. That would mess me up. Crap your pants.
In a situation like this, I wouldn't doubt you. I wouldn't even be mad at you if you did crap yourself in this situation.
No,
because that would be a haunting sight to see during the apocalypse.
Yeah, but my
This is
OCD.
that.
But my OCD would just be like, I can't crap my
Can't
pants.
do it.
I can't do it.
Can't, but I
can't.
want to. I can't.
Or just pull my pants down. It's like it's the apocalypse. I don't care.
I just imagine you like me and you were like honestly trying to run away to save our lives. You drop your pants down, immediately piss on the wall. Like, what are you doing? Hold on,
it's the apocalypse. I gotta go.
Hold on, I gotta take a leak first. We're gonna die.
Okay, no,
I have to pee. I don't care.
I will pee my pants in the apocalypse, but I will not crap my pants. I don't want to have
either
in my pants.
I won't do either. I will be so scared. I would wait.
How could you? Like if it was like diarrhea. Okay, if you had diarrhea in the apocalypse.
Okay, I would still try and wait though. In fact, that would probably give me more edge to run away from the danger. That would give me more of an edge.
So scared that you just was like, I gotta, and then you're running like that. It's just, I don't know. I'm gonna clip this.
Clip this.
And then Superman flies up into the laser and screaming while he does it, and he destroys the world engine in the Indian Ocean.
Could never.
And therefore making the other world engine in Metropolis stop working. So then this is when the plane comes in with the pod for the baby Cal with the USB. And then it shows Kal-El. I don't keep saying Kal-El. Superman is getting healed by the sun in this scene, which I never got it until now when we're watching this again. That's what was happening when he was reaching his hand out.
It's basically what happens in the James Gunn film, but they do it more subtly in this one.
I do like that. In the James Gunn, it's like it hurts, which I don't know why it would hurt.
It's either it hurts or it's like it's so essential that he can't like go one battle without being healed. Like in the first fight, he says he has one of the injuries he has is, I think, broken or cracked ribs. And I'm just thinking, you are Superman. How are you getting hurt that bad?
I don't know.
I get like Ultraman's a clone of you, but like, dude, you shouldn't be suffering broken ribs. And you haven't even fought a big villain like a Zod or a Doomsday or heck, you haven't technically fought Lex Luthor in like a mech suit or anything. How are you having that bad of an injury to you?
Yeah, I don't know. I forgot how he got.
David Cornsway could never in this movie.
I'm sorry.
And I ain't even trying to be shisty. I ain't trying to be disrespectful. There's no way he's beating Zod in this fight.
No way.
Where did you train? On a farm? Literally 2 pieces, David.
Literally, yes. Yeah. So then in the plane, the USB doesn't go in all the way because of lightning. Well, it revealed that it's turned the wrong way, which I don't know how it was. So that was kind of easy to figure out because of the science.
I like the soldier on the ship. He's like, Miss Light, step away from the back of the ship. It's too dangerous. Miss Light gets obliterated by Feora.
Yeah.
She just jumps off the bottom of the ship, from the bottom of the ship up into the platform, and it's just like, huh?
Yeah.
Not to mention, bro hits the Wilhelm scream before while falling out of the plane.
Yeah. But before that, Zod shows up in his ship, and this is the moment. So it's not going in all the way because it's turned the wrong way, but they don't figure that out till later. But then Zod's ship shows up that from the Arctic, and Lois, for some reason, walks up close to it. She should not be that close. So then Zod's going to shoot down the plane. And then Superman shows up flying in at full speed.
And that's where you get your profile picture.
And that's my profile picture. So Zod says, "Stop! If you destroy
You
this
destroy
ship,
you destroy Krypton.
Krypton." And then Superman says, "Krypton had its chance."
chance. And then goes back to laser eyes, and then he screams,
He screams and lasers down the console or like the
which
chair
is the
that Zod
most
did.
anger I have ever heard or seen out of Henry Cavill at all.
Yes, like right here, that's where you get okay. But
Right
then,
here is where you get mad.
and then the ship falls into the freaking city.
The
It
best
falls-
part.
It
The
falls
best
into the
part.
freaking city. And
Oh,
this
it does more than
crashes-
just fall into the city. It crashes through 4 or 5 different buildings.
Yes. But maybe
Bro,
there's no people there. There
we
might
had to
be, there might
legitimately
be.
pause the whole movie because we could not stop laughing at this.
I was so pissed. Donovan
You
was
were
losing
mad.
it.
I was losing my shit, and David was so heated.
I was just like, oh my gosh. And then the babies like basically die.
Oh yeah, the kids die.
Yeah, so screw
They
the
die.
babies.
So much for having Supergirl and Superboy in the ship. So.
Yep. And then but besides all that,
I'm just thinking, picturing it in my head. Batman v Superman makes it so much worse.
Yeah.
Because they do a top-down view of it.
Oh, that's so bad. Anyway, back on the airplane, Emil
He
Hamilton.
literally could have just jumped out the ship and tried to stop it.
Yes, he could have turned it. He could have turned it. Superman
And
Returns
this
did it
all
better.
started, by the way, because Superman lasered the chair.
Yeah, he didn't
Just
laser
the chair.
He could have lasered Zod and tried to control the ship,
Yeah.
bringing it into the water.
Or at least fly out of the ship. You dive bombed into the ship to get in. You could dive bomb out of it to stop.
He should have dive bombed earlier.
Yeah.
When he was still above the water.
Henry, yo, bro, I get it's year one.
moron.
You had one job. You had one job, my brother.
Humanity really isn't ready. I'm good.
He ain't ready. He ain't ready. I see what his father means now. Jonathan Kent was not in the wrong.
Technically not wrong, but still in the wrong.
The world will be afraid of what they see. Meanwhile,
ugh. Oh, I hate myself.
is it bad to say that's unironically one of the funniest scenes in a superhero
It's so
movie ever?
funny. It's so funny. Dude. Oh, it's so funny.
Bro, you have one job. You're not ready for the position. Hang it up.
Mm-mm.
Hang it up.
Oh man. So then we get to then
I can
Emil
only
Hamilton.
imagine if the Avengers did that during the Battle of New York.
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah, speaking of the Avengers, this is an idea we had the moment we saw this scene. Marvel did not need the Sokovia Accords. It was DC that needed it.
Yep.
DC needed it the most.
Dude, the Avengers altogether did the least damage compared to Superman by himself.
Even the Leviathan thing, they did the least amount of damage.
Oh, dude.
There's this.
Exactly.
If anyone needs the Sokovia Accords, it's Superman.
Dude, when the Leviathan landed on a roof of a building, it still did less damage than what happened in Metropolis.
When it was flying around the city, it did less damage.
Yes. And then at least they showed evacuating citizens somewhere. I guess.
They ain't do that. They ain't do that here.
No.
They didn't do that.
We gotta get
It's 3 hours.
I know.
Into
I'm trying
this
to
review.
finish. We've gone longer than the movie. We need to. Okay, so Fiora using his skate pod to go to the airplane by herself to finish off the job. So then Emil Hamilton, the scientist, decides to turn it over. Ooh, he's so smart. And then she jumps into the airplane. So the USB's in properly now. It's about ready to explode once it pressed in. And this is the Miss Lane scene.
Yeah.
And then he
And then
Yeah.
the soldier who Feora talked to, who was about to go to blows with her with a knife, she gets up to him and he's like, a good death is its own reward. And she tilts her head like, huh? And then he proceeds to push the ship towards the Kryptonian ship. I mean, the plane towards the Kryptonian ship. Lois Lane somehow just falls out. I don't know
she's an idiot.
she is. But like they collide, and a similar thing happens where everybody in the plane and in the ship, including Emil Hamilton, the scientist, they're all dead. They're in the Phantom Zone now.
Yeah, so
Everybody's in the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, so lucky for Lois Lane to be falling out. Which, by the way, she's falling really weird.
Yeah, she's falling like 08 Incredible Hulk in the video game.
I have not seen that, so I can't say anything. But
he's just falling very still, just moving his legs.
Mm-hmm. And so after that wonderful little crash, Superman gets out of the rubble and he sees Lois falling and catches her to get her away from struggling to get away from the Phantom Zone sucking in everybody. So they escape that. It's the Phantom Zone sucks them in, land safely. They're gone, and then Lois and Superman smooch intensely.
I feel like she only kissed him for the sole reason of you saved my life, and this is the best way I can repay you.
That's it. And it's like the time and place, not now.
Yeah. And then Big Z comes out. And then Superman flies to him, and he gives off one of the coolest speeches I've heard a villain say. And he's like, one of the key moments where he's like, I exist for the sole reason of protecting my people. And now I have no people. And Superman looks at him like, bitch, do I care?
It's so funny, dude.
It's so funny. That's why I like this scene, because one, you have Zod, who has a good villain monologue. As always, he's really good. And you just have Superman just like not caring. He's just like, okay. It's like, is this the face of a man who's supposed to care? And then like Zod is like something about you taking away all these people. Yeah, my soul, in which you have taken that from me. He punches Superman, and then you get, in my opinion, the greatest moment in the entire movie. Not the flight scene, not the ship crashing into multiple buildings, not even this speech. Superman does this. You're a monster, Zod, as he slowly raises up, turns around slowly, and I'm going to stop you. The way how they have Superman floating in the air looks so goofy. You can tell he was moved by ropes. Yeah. That's the best part about it. And it's just the line he says is the most Superman thing ever. You're a monster, Zod. I'm going to stop you.
And then they crash into a building, which we will get to later. But
they have the best fight in this entire film.
Yeah. But like, we'll get to what happens in the building, but what we'll talk about now is that Zod's heat vision goes off and it looks like it hurts, and that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I like that part. It was interesting that it looked like his vision hurt him, even holding his head and even screaming as he did it. Like, this was very painful.
Yeah.
And again, one last time, and I hate to keep bouncing from movie to movie. At this point in time, Batman is watching this in Metropolis from the buildings, from the downtown perspective.
We'll get there.
He's not doing anything.
What are you saying?
He's not doing anything but just standing there watching. And Superman must have hearing, because the dude in the building is like, God, may have mercy on my soul. And it's just like this man praying for repentance
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, Superman flies out. No super hearing.
Zod jumps out after he realizes he hit everything but Superman, and the building's collapsing, and then he just flies out.
Yeah, and Superman crashes into cars flying out, or they both do, and he's just collateral damage everywhere again.
Collateral. I don't even think it's just collateral damage. This is just mutual destruction.
Yeah,
Mutually insured destruction at this point.
Superman, there's a LexCorp truck, and then
LexCorp gas truck. He jumps in between, has a hype moment, then gets two-pieced by Zod.
Throw punches at each other.
Which I like because, like, when Superman punches, there's a part in the scene where Superman gets blocked, Zod punches, and he uses his left arm to block Superman, like in a karate chop motion, and then he punches him. I like that, like the little intricacies, because it shows that Zod is a fighter.
Yeah.
He has a little bit of combat prowess, where Superman, he's just throwing bombs. That's all he is. He's throwing lefts and rights, see what hits.
Exactly. But that happens. He punches him upwards toward a building, and then Zod crawls up the building trying to get Superman.
He uppercuts Superman. Superman flies in the air. He's like, "This is where it ends, Cal. Either there's only one way how this ends, Cal. Either you die or I do." And he's just literally crawling like a running crawl up the building so angrily, and Superman flies down. They have a really cool collision. They even like has a shockwave that even breaks part of the building, and they're just fighting in the air. This is a really good fight out of two Kryptonians. They eventually reach like a construction building, and I showed David this, and he's like, "Oh, you got to be kidding, man!"
Yeah.
So there's like like the workplace incident signs where it's like so and so days since a workplace incident. It had 106. Zod was about to hit Superman with like a girder, and Superman lasered it, and then he stopped. And then Zod hit him what the girder what was left, and then it knocked Superman into the sign. It went from 106 to just 0.
I don't know how that.
And David's just like, "Oh, frick you, man."
Yeah. Also, how did that not get damaged with the impact of Superman and he just bounced off? Whatever. Okay.
It just works.
Okay. And then Zod.
Here's the thing that kind of irks me about Zod. He's like, "I have trained my entire life to hone in my senses." Where have you trained? On a farm? If you've truly trained to hone in all your senses, how come one line from Superman made you actually train them up yourself? You train for years to hone in your senses, yet when you get your like rebreather knocked off, all of a sudden your X-ray vision was going haywire, and so was all your senses.
That's a good point.
And you were having honest to God pain using heat vision. Okay, buddy. But the thing that's contradictory about this is that he starts ripping off his suit. And this part was kind of cool. He starts ripping off his suit, and then he shows the Kryptonian suit underneath, and he starts flying.
Yep.
You trained all your senses, yet you struggled when your X-ray vision and the rest of your senses were on the fritz on Earth. And you sound like you were in pain and looked like you were in pain using heat vision, yet you can fly.
Yeah.
You didn't train much.
No, you did not.
You did not train much. Meanwhile, that farm boy trained a lot more than you did.
Yep.
In year one. And it took you your entire life. Let that sink in. But yeah, he starts flying. Superman flies into him. They start flying in the air. This is and we always mention this, and I mentioned this earlier in the episode. But like, for those who are big fans of the Injustice games, particularly Injustice 2, this is where the Superman super move comes in, because he punches him twice, just like the Injustice super move. This is where that comes from, and I'm thinking this is so cool. They took this from people who don't like Man of Steel. They really took this from it, and they're just fighting along the buildings and everything like that, crashing through them. here's something I never understood about superheroes, and I talked to David about this. They never grab onto a hero's cape. What I like about this, Zod immediately grabs onto it and starts hammer throwing Superman. He literally threw Superman into 5 buildings. And like afterwards, while he's colliding, Superman falls out of the building. They literally do the "What's up, danger" scene.
True.
They just pull a "What's up, danger." So suck it, Spider-Verse. They did it first.
Yep.
But yeah, they're fighting in the air still. They're doing all this.
Oh, they go to space and there's a
they
satellite.
go to space. Zod destroys a satellite trying to throw it into Superman, and they collide again.
The bits and pieces of the satellite fly down like asteroids into the buildings again. And then
we don't even know where those landed.
Yeah. Superman they crash into the buildings, into the windows and everything. It's crazy. And then Zod and Superman crash into a bank, I guess. I don't know where.
It looked like it actually like the metros, like a metro station.
It did, yeah, that's right.
So it might have been a bank, it might have been a metro station, because I know in New York they got like the metro station that looks underground-ish, and that's kind of what this reminds me of. All while having badass Hans Zimmer music playing in the background.
Yep. And then
and then there's the part where everybody about this film gets very heated. And on one hand, I understand the argument. On the other hand, I see this as being completely justified. So they crash and they land, and everyone is evacuating the situation except for a family. And Zod looks at and says to Superman, if you love these people, then you can mourn for them. And it immediately starts hitting it activates his heat vision, and he slowly pans his head to a family who's huddled up in a corner, crying, begging for them to stop. And Superman is like, don't do this. Stop. And Zod just says, never. And in this moment, Superman, after seeing the family again, just snaps Zod's neck.
Yep.
On one hand, I understand why people were saying, oh, Superman should have just flew out of the building, maybe blocked his eyes, or maybe turned his head the other way. I understand he could have done something different. But I also see the argument where, in the heat of the moment, he, in his mind, probably had no other choice.
Yeah.
And this, like, it's kind of like when you get angry, you say and do stuff you don't really mean. In the heat of the moment like this, and you're kind of panicking, I understand where Superman's coming from, where he just breaks his neck. And the thing about it is like, Superman's never fought anything like this before. He hasn't dealt with a Zod who's willing to catch lives like this. And yet, I can understand where Superman felt like he had no other choice but to do this. Plus, I understand his family's perspective is like, oh, you could move out of the way. You could have, but Zod probably would try and track him.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
That's the only reason why I feel like they didn't move, is because if they did, Zod would just quickly look back at him. Like, oh, you want to move? Laser you quicker.
Exactly.
And it's like, I don't understand the argument where it's like people say, oh, Superman, this is uncharacteristic of Superman. He would never do this, even though he's killed in the comics before. He's killed bad guys before. And the thing is, there have been always heated arguments about this. Like, Superman shouldn't have done it. Superman should have done it. And then I saw this one argument on YouTube before we even watched the movie. And it was like, oh, Superman, this is uncharacteristic of Superman to do this, because Superman would never kill people at all, even though he's done it. Yet the same person would also retract their statement and say Superman would only do this to people if they've caused destruction and death on a grand scale, so to speak. I'm basically paraphrasing what they said. So by your argument, you are straight up saying that Superman would do this. Yeah. If we're going off that argument, Superman would do this. Okay, so he's justified. But you just said he's not.
Yeah.
And I'm
apparently Apparently, Krypton is not that much of a threat. Then I guess I don't
I
know.
guess not. And the thing is, apparently Zod has died to Superman before. And it's like, what would you have expected Superman to do? Even if he did turn his head, even if he did fly out, even if he did all of this, how would he have genuinely stopped Zod then?
Yeah,
Because there's no prison that could have stopped Zod. I mean, that could contain Zod on Earth. The Phantom Zone thing already happened. What would Superman genuinely could have done to stop him? There's
exactly.
nothing he could really do.
No.
So at that point, he kind of had no choice but to snap the neck.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the no kill rule. Like this is I think
there are some times when a no kill rule makes sense, but then there are other times like this where it's like you gotta do it.
Yeah.
You have to break that rule at least once. Because if not, they're just gonna keep going. Oh wait, they already did.
Yep.
So it's like Superman's not in the wrong here.
No.
And besides, this is still year one Superman. This is like he's never had to take a life before.
Right.
So this is new to him. So it's completely justified when he screams after he killed Zod. Because he's just like, oh man, I really did that. And then what I like about Lois is that like she does console Superman after the fact. It's just like I understand the frustration, but like there was no other way. He did what had to be done. He did what had to be done. If only his world's finest best friend had the same mindset when it comes to Joker.
Yep.
If only he had the same mindset.
That's why Under the Red Hood sucks in that regard. Like it's just because he's like what Red Hood's like. I'm not talking about Dent or Riddler or Penguin. I'm talking about him. Just him. About Joker.
I'm doing it
because he took me away from you.
Away from you. That was so
I
sweet.
can't. I'm sorry. It's like, dude.
All right. Well, if you can't, I will. I would have shot him at that moment. Jason should have shot him.
He should have shot him.
Okay. Well, if you're not going to do it, you can watch. Pop.
Yep.
Right there. You can.
Exactly. But yeah, moving on from that scene, the Metropolis fight is over. And then it cuts to the desert or wherever in New Mexico. Martian General Martian Manhunter.
Oh, this shit pisses kind of the both of us off.
Yeah, so they're driving.
Both funny.
Yeah, they're driving, and then Superman crashes a $12 million piece of hardware missile or whatever.
It was
in the middle, a drone in the middle of the road,
right before they even hit it.
Yeah, we could have hit it.
And then both soldiers, the general and a young soldier with him, he walks out and he has the most accurate depiction. He has an appropriate reaction. Are you effing stupid? You just crashed a $12 million piece of hardware in the middle of the road.
Yeah,
I know. And you know what Superman says? I know where you're going to try to find my cape. I mean, try to find where I hang my cape. You won't. That's how he says it.
And he's like, and then he Swanwick or Martian Manhunter Swanwick. He's like, okay, answer me this. How do we know you won't one day act against America's interests? And then Superman says, I grew up in Kansas, General.
With its arms stretched out wide, like, dude, are you serious?
Yeah, but I'm about as American as it gets, which is such a bullcrap excuse. It's like
that's like if Captain America committed civil war and it's like, you're going against America's interests. I served in World War II, General.
Yeah, it's like a bank robber. It's like a bank robber.
I live in Queens. No, I was born in Brooklyn, General.
Yeah. It's like a bank robber. It's like, why did you rob the bank? And it's like, I grew up in Milwaukee. I don't know. It's like, well, I grew up in America where we both live, so there we go.
And that's the thing I don't like, because Superman basically gave himself away saying this. I grew up in Kansas, General. Okay, well now you just gave General Swanwick a reason to just manhunt and search throughout the entire state of Kansas.
You
So
won't
good
find
on you, Soups. Good
you
on you
won't
for that.
you won't find out where I live. Oh yeah, I grew up in
Okay.
Kansas.
I bet. I'm about to strip search this entire state till we find something.
That's so stupid.
And it's just like, how will you know? How will we know if you won't work against America's interests? And he's like, this I kind of do like because it sounds like something Superman would say. He's like, I don't know, General. Guess I'll just have to trust you, and then flies off.
Well, no, it was. He says, "I'm here to help, but it has to be on my own terms, and you have to convince Washington of that."
Even if I do convince Washington of that, which in BVS they don't.
Yeah.
Even if I were to convince Washington, they're willing, and how would I know if they're not willing to listen or something like that?
Yeah, and he's like, I don't know.
I don't know, General. I guess I'll just have to trust you. That sounds like Superman, but like
that part does. But what irks me is the has to be on my own terms. Oh, like what you did in Metropolis, in Smallville. Okay,
it has to be on my own terms. I don't know, General. I guess I'll just have to trust you. Comically crashes a $12 million drone into the street.
Yeah, right in front of them.
Right in front of them. They could have died from that.
Mm-hmm. So
you could have done that farther down the road or like next to the car.
Yeah. So he flies away, and then the lady is like smiling, and he's like, "What you smiling about?" And she was like, "Nothing. I just think he's kind of hot."
And he smiles too. It's like, get in the car. Get in the car. He's like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not wrong. Said every fangirl ever of Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
She's just one of many.
Have you seen that meme of like me when it's like me with my girlfriend when she tells Henry Cavill that I'm straight, and he's like, I have no idea what she's talking about.
What?
That's a meme. It's like,
show me that.
I'll have to find it. It's funny.
Okay.
But then it cuts to the graveyard where Jonathan Kent's at, the worst dad ever. So Martha's like,
James Gunn's Jor-El and Laura could never.
No,
they could not.
That's so good. He always believed you were meant for greater things, and that when the day came, when the day came, your shoulders would be able to bear the weight. Shut up.
Right.
Shut up.
All right, buddy.
I wish he was here to see it. Finally happened. He saw it. Believe me. Okay. And then it cuts to a flashback of Clark as a kid with a cake.
I thought this was sweet.
I did like that.
Like the cut to him as playing with the dog with a little cape, and they're watching him, especially Jonathan. And then he does the pose with like his hands on his hips. I'm surprised this version of Superman never did that. He did the Christopher Reeves pose in front of the dog. I thought that was cute.
Mm-hmm. I like that. And then Martha says, "What are you going to do when you're not saving the world?" And he's
keep my ear to the ground.
Keep my ear to the ground.
Find a job. Keep my ear to the ground.
Where people won't look twice. Where I want to go somewhere dangerous and start asking questions. Which I don't understand the transition there for him working at the Daily Planet.
It just works. We need him a Daily Planet.
Yeah. And then he puts on the glasses.
Oh, no. Hold on. Before we get to that.
Yeah.
He gets there to the Daily Planet, and he's walking, right? He eventually goes into the elevator.
Yep.
There are a couple of people in that elevator with him. Mind you, he doesn't have the glasses on.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just straight up just revealed to everybody, hey, I'm Superman in this elevator, but I'm going to put some glasses on. Hey, I'm Clark Kent, everybody. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. So cool.
Bitch. Unless you got the hypno glasses like Guy Gardner talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm sorry. I just refuse to believe Henry Cavill could work as a Clark Kent. The Daily Planet.
Because his posture is too good for Clark Kent.
No, just his face. Like, Corn Sweat, I can see he passes off as like that goofy guy. Same with Christopher Reeves. You can tell, okay, this might be Clark Kent. You look at Henry Cavill, even with glasses, the first thing you say is, Bro, that's Superman.
Yeah, I don't buy
Buddy,
it.
that's
Lois
Superman.
bought it. Lois bought it.
No, I feel like Lois faked it.
I mean, Lois knows, but
She
she's like,
knows. I feel like she faked it.
yeah. But
Everyone else is just like, bro, that's
yeah,
Superman.
he meets everyone. Lois, they recognize each other, they smile, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah. Man of Steel. It took us 3.5 hours to actually review the whole thing.
Imagine how long it's going to take for us to review Snyder Cut.
We're gonna have to break that down.
Oh boy,
Maybe at least a two-parter.
I have to think of new thumbnails then. But I'd give this a 6 out of 10.
Come on, bro.
Well, I'm not. I don't like it as much as you do. Like, there are good things in it, but there are bad things as well.
We no longer friends. Okay, if I'm gonna be honest, if I watched this movie back in the day, I would say this is a solid 10 out of 10. Looking back on it, they're all of its highs and lows. It's a solid 7.5 to 8 out of 10 for me.
Fair enough.
It's still a very good movie. I see the hate, but at the same time, I don't understand why you would hate it at the same time. You know what I mean?
I'm just mixed on it. Like, it's nostalgic for me, but putting that aside, it's like,
I mean, like, putting nostalgia aside, which I really am, I see the problems with it, and the problems that people have, I have as well.
Yeah.
But take away the problems, it's still a half decent Superman movie. It just is.
No, that's fine. You're good.
No, I'm just trying to put words together. It's just I don't know.
I get what you're saying, though.
I guess, like, looking back on it now, especially after what has transpired in the DCEU, Henry Cavill's span as Superman, and even having the new one, this movie is not that bad like people said it was.
No,
it's really not. It ain't perfect by any means, but it ain't bad.
No. Yeah, I do like it, though. Like, it's
if I had to say, this is probably the same grade I would give the modern Superman movie. 7.5 to 8 out of 10. It's on par. And I like both movies equally.
Yeah.
Even if Cornswell gets his ass beat all the time in his own movie. But
yeah. I mean, if we're going like that, then I would say, yeah, these movies are kind of the same for me. I'd say both Man of Steel and James Gunn's Superman are both 6 out of 10 for me. They're both, they have stuff that I like and don't like, but they're still pretty neat.
Do you think this Superman is a punk rocker?
Probably no.
Dang.
I mean, kind of, but not as punk rock as Corn Sweat.
You think Christopher Reeves is punk rock?
Of course.
Kindness is the new punk rock. Meanwhile, you have Henry Cavill.
He's like,
what? No, wait a minute. Now, I gotta say something about that. Kindness is the new punk rock. This new Superman movie inspired us to be kind. Then do that with Henry Cavill's Superman. Do that with this movie. Instead of barking, instead of being like so angry at one another because one fandom doesn't like your movie or one fandom decides to critique your movie. You want kindness to be the punk rock? Do that with both ways.
Yeah.
Don't hate on this movie. You can criticize it, yes, but don't hate on it just because it's not what you think Superman's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You can love both. You can criticize both. I stopped myself throughout this entire review to not go on that rant, but I still had to say that regardless.
Yeah. I'm in all of those categories you just mentioned. I'm very mixed on these Superman movies, but it's still Superman, and I like Superman. So Still need to watch Christopher Reeves, but I will
Yes,
do that someday.
you do. And I will show you that movie if I don't find the director's cut. Because I'm not
Yeah.
sitting through 3 hours again.
No. Well, thanks for watching, people.
Tune in next time when we when we return to the Marvel movie half hour, where we watch, what is it again?
Daredevil.
The 03 Daredevil with DCEU's Batman, Ben Affleck.
That is true. So, I guess we'll watch it tomorrow, I guess, if you want to.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so stay on the lookout for that. It'll be released soon.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all have a good night.
You do too.
Oh no, I was meant the audience, but
No, I'm saying goodnight to them too.
oh yeah, okay. We'll say goodnight later. But punk rock, yes I am. Yeah.
Do. Because he's a punk rocker. Yes, he is.
Yes, I am.